This hearing is hereby called to order. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On the agenda on today's hearing are the following. Senate Bill number 27, an act amending Republic Act number 8049 entitled An Act Regulating Hazing and Other Forms of Rights in Fraternities, Sororities, and Other Organizations providing penalties for and for other purposes by Senator Honasan. Senate Bill number 199, an act prohibiting hazing and regulating other forms of organization rights of fraternities, sororities, and other organizations and providing penalties for violation thereof, repealing for the purpose Republic Act 8049, filed by Senator Erwin Gatchalian. Senate Bill number 223, an act amending Section 4 of Republic Act number 8049, otherwise known as an act regulating hazing and other forms of initiation rights in fraternities, sororities, and other organizations, and providing penalties therefore by Senator Soto. Senate Bill 1161, an act prohibiting hazing and regulating other forms of initiation rights of fraternities, sororities, and other organizations, and providing penalties for violation thereof, repealing for the purpose RA 8049 by Senator Ligarda. Senate Bill 1591, an act prohibiting hazing and regulating other forms of initiation rights of fraternities, sororities, and other organizations, and providing penalties for violation thereof, repealing for the purpose RA number 8049 by Senator Subiri. PS Resolution number 504, resolution condemning in the strongest sense the death of freshman law student Horacio Tomas Castillo III and directing the appropriate Senate committees to conduct an investigation in aid of legislation to hold accountable those responsible for the senseless act by Senator Subiri. Privileged speech of Senator Subiri on the death of Horacio Acho Castillo III due to hazing delivered on September 20, 2017, and PS Resolution number 510, a resolution directing the appropriate Senate committees to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation into the recent death of Horacio Tomas Castillo III, allegedly due to hazing-related activities filed by Senator Bam Aquino IV. Said that, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of my colleague, Vice Chair of the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, Senator Grace Poe, Senator Nick Subiri, Senator Gatchalian, Senator Villanueva, Senator Bam Aquino IV, Minority Leader Senator Frank Drillo, Senator Debbie Ejercito. In attendance in today's hearing are the following. Dean Nilo T. Divina, UST Faculty of Civil Law.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Later on, if I may be allowed to read a statement at the time you deem appropriate. Thank you.
Yes, Dean. Attorney Irvin John Pavella.
Good evening,
sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Attorney Arthur Capili, Faculty Secretary. Kanya Bolivar. Sir. Sir Jonathan Santos.
Good evening, Mr.
Invited the following. Sir In Wei Chan, Chair of Aegis Fraternity. Sir Mark Anthony Ventura, Mr. Axel, Sir Oliver John Audrey Onofre, Mr. Joshua Toriel Macabili, Sir Jason Adolfo Rubinos. Kindly indicate if you are around. Sir Ralph Rangya, Sir Rani Rafael Santiago, Sir Daniel Hans Matthew Rodrigo, Sir Carl Matthew Villanueva, Sir Aaron Salientes, Mr. Marcelino Bagtang, Sir Zimon Padro, Miguel Salamat, officers of the Aegis Fraternity. Sir John Paul Solano, Ms. Nina from Banzol, Regina Regis Sorority. Are you around, ma'am? Take your seat. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Majority Leader, Senator Chief Superintendent Jigs Coronel,
Good evening, sir.
Director, Manila Police, Prosecutor General George Catalan Jr., the OIC of the NPS, presenting Secretary
Mr.
Attorney Maria Cristina Layusa. Present, ma'am. Chairman Jose Luis Manuel Gascon, HR. Presented by Attorney Gemma Paruhinog. You're here. Attorney Paulo Celeridad. Attorney Diana De Leon. Director Dante Gueran. Attorney Romy Kim. First from the CHED, presenting Chairperson Patricia Banan, Engineer Ronaldo Leta, OIC, Office of the Director. Round. By your seat. Chairperson Carissa Segura, National Youth. General Eduardo M. Año, represented by Major Eduardo, Captain Ramon Angelio II. Please. Attorney Emerson Akende, Legal Education Board. Dean Maria Soledad Derequito Mawis, represented Attorney Janice Christine Ramos. Parents of Horacio Mas Castillo III, Ms. Horacio and Carmina Castillo. He didn't send invitation, but I invited him to attend because he's the original author of anti-hazing. Senator, former Secretary, former Joelina, ng hapon po sa inyo. Here wishes to make a brief preliminary statement. Borrowing the wisdom of no less than the Supreme Court, Horacio Tomas Castillo III, like Lenny Villa and the other neophytes joining fraternities, did a leap dark. By giving consent under these circumstances, they left their fate in the hands of fraternity members. Quoting from Villarreal versus People of the Philippines under GR number 151258, I quote, "Unfortunately, the hands which lives were entrusted were barbaric as they were reckless." Let us cut to the chase and spare the grieving family of denials with respect to his death caused by the misery of hazing in his initiation rites with the ages during eternity. His body, photos of which have circulated on every channel, clearly outlined what happened to him the night of September 16, 2017. After dubbing themselves as the Lawyer Factory, I assume the principle of res ipsa loquitur is more or less basic. To begin this inquiry, allow me to pose my preliminary question to everyone present here. And I invite your attention at the screens. Do these photos speak for the practices of this brotherhood? Under oath, with the possibility of being denied admission to the bar or being disbarred, one must think long and hard before thinking of lying to persons advocating justice and timely demise of Horacio Castillo. Little history tells us that aegis juris means shield of justice. With the progress of the ongoing investigation, I fervently hope that the shield of justice will not turn out to be the shield from justice. Today, let us aim to shed light sufficient enough to guide the grieving family towards justice. As avowed by the court in Sibal versus People, senseless deaths of these young men shall never be forgotten. Justice, spark that lights candles to their graves. That let us proceed. I would like to acknowledge or recognize Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, who also wishes to make a, then after him, Senator
Thank you,
Senator
Mr.
Gatchalian.
Chair. The kind indulgence of our distinguished colleagues, the Chair, distinguished peers in the Senate, fellow Filipinos, good evening to all of you. I feel a strong sense of deja vu as we discuss yet another tragic death of an aspiring young man who met a cruel and senseless end at the hands of his brothers-to-be. 3 years ago, when I was a member of the House of Representatives, my colleagues and I came together to seek justice for an outrageous killing of another hazing victim, Julio Servando, an 18-year-old student of the De La Salle College of St. Benilde. As the truth of the horrible ordeal Julio suffered the last hours of his life began to surface, it became clear that existing anti-hazing legislation was simply not enough to deter hazing and properly punish perpetrators. We are convinced that the complete revamped Republic Act 8049, the anti-hazing law of 1995, will be necessary to completely prohibit hazing and hold offenders accountable for their crimes. In the end, the collective indignation of the Filipino people resulted in the crafting of each House Bill number 5760, known for short as the Servando Act, a comprehensive piece of legislation to replace RA 8049 and institute a stricter anti-hazing legal regime. The Servando Act passed the House of Representatives on third and final reading during the 16th Congress, but unfortunately, it did not make it through the Senate in time. Thus, the reforms we sought to achieve never materialized. The anti-hazing advocacy faded once more into obscurity. Mr. Chair, fellow senators, it is high time to revisit this legislation and make sure that the reforms necessary to protect our children from barbaric acts of hazing are finally passed into law. Certainly, it was admirable for Congress to pass the original anti-hazing law back in 1995. However, according to the updated data graciously furnished by the Case Monitoring Division, the Philippine National Police Directorate for Investigation and Detective Management, the initiative of Director Augusto Marquez, it is evident that there is much room for improvement in the law that has penalized hazing over the past 22 years. The updated data shows that between January of 2002 and September of 2017, there were 117 reported hazing incidents involving 419 suspects. Only 15 of these suspects have been convicted, resulting in a measly conviction rate of 3.6%. No less than the Supreme Court itself has urged its coordinate branch of government, the legislature, to pass reforms in the law. In Dungo versus People, 2015 case that affirmed with finality the conviction of men who participated in hazing death UPLB student Marlon Villanueva 2006. The court said that the law is far from perfect, proposed several amendments, including the imposition of penalties for non-compliance, requirements for filing written notice with the school and having school representatives present at the initiation, as well as taking into account the psychological harm to victims in penalizing hazing. Meanwhile, in Villarreal versus People, the court also suggested for intoxication, presence of non-resident members be considered aggravating circumstance, learning from lessons taught by the hazing death Benny Villa way back in 1990. To address these issues and other needed reforms in the law, I filed Senate Bill number 199, or the Anti-Hazing Law of 2016, as one of my priority bills at the start of the 17th Congress. Honestly, I did not expect the bill to get much attention this time around. Unfortunately, another innocent young person has lost his life to false promises of brotherhood, and once again, the Filipino nation is clamoring for swift justice, sweeping reform. As representatives of the people, we must answer this clamor with decisive legal action. In closing, I would like to extend my sincerest condolences to the family and loved ones of Acho Castillo. By all accounts, Acho was an exceptionally kind young man who pursued his dream of becoming a lawyer, passion of diligence. Unfortunately, this promising young life was cut short before he could even finish his first semester. He will never have the opportunity to proudly show his parents his final exam scores in constitutional law or persons and family relations. He will never graduate from law school or take the bar. He will never take the lawyer's oath or sign his name on the roll of attorneys. These dreams are forever gone, buried beneath the soil alongside Acho's bruised and blackened body. Perhaps in death, Acho may still make a groundbreaking impact on the law after. As Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. once said, the life of the law has not been logic, it has been experience. It is my sincere hope that the crushing tragedy experienced by Acho and his family spark real change, serving as the catalyst for the passage of legal reforms that will stamp out the sick evil of hazing once and for all. Acho's legacy to the law will endure. We can ensure that his death will be the last. Thank you, Mr.
Before I recognize Chair Manager Senator, and before that, I'd like to inform the body that another member of the IG's fraternity, person of Mr. Jason Adol, present, reported to my office earlier this afternoon, 5 o'clock. Mr. Jason Adolfo Piños. Occupy your. So Senator Subiri is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman, no one deserves to die from hazing, brutal and senseless death. We have a law, Public Act 8049, or an act regulating hazing and other forms of initiation rights, fraternities and sororities, and other organizations. Unfortunately, this is enactment into law in 1995. With dozens of reported deaths due to hazing, only one conviction has been decided by the court. Only one. Other accounts place that there could be more than 100 deaths due to hazing, but the rest are not reported or do not reach. So much senseless death. My dearest colleagues, so much wasted youth. Bright future of these students suddenly gone, as was the case of Acho Castillo. When will these barbaric acts of so-called brotherhood stop? You're supposed to welcome new members and protect them, and not protect them like family, and not hurt them, kill them. No wonder the culture of violence never ends in our country, as those who swear an oath to defend our laws are the same ones who commit the violence. This must stop. No parent should bury their children from such senseless deaths from violence and crime. It's about time that we prohibit hazing. We need to pass a new law that will not only regulate hazing, but ban it outright. Brotherhood or sisterhood should not be realized at the expense of the lives and future of our youth. We should put a stop to this senseless death. We should put a stop to hazing once and for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Subiri. Committee Secretary, kindly under the oath.
Stand up. I request everyone to please stand.
Except Senator Lina. Kindly rise and raise your right hand. Everybody, please.
We solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this Senate investigation.
Thank you. For an orderly proceeding, we'll allow the senators to ask their questions in the order of their arrival. First to arrive, Senator Grace Poe, followed by Senator Subiri, Senator Gatchalian, Senator Villanueva, Senator Drilon, Senator Ejercito, Senator Aquino, Senator Soto, and Senator Niveros. That order. Senator Poe, you have the floor.
Mr. Chair,
You have 10 minutes to
papaubaya ko muna ang aking oras kay Senator Villanueva na pakiramdam ngayon at kailangan pumunta sa hospital.
the permission of Senators Subiri, Gatchalian, and Senator Subiri and Senator Gatchalian. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Gray. Chair. Our resource persons, let me start by sympathizing with the family. Kiramay po kami. Alam na hindi na natin kayang ibalik ang Atcho. Gusto nating matigil na ito. Masayang pagkawala ng buhay Atcho. I will first ask my question to Dean Divina, sir. As a fellow alumnus of the University of Santo Tomas, I hold you in the highest esteem, Dean of the Faculty of Science. Unfortunately, Atcho died on your watch. According po dun sa interview po ito, I've seen a lot of articles. For example, in Rappler, you gave a statement, taken a leave of absence, assume ship 8 years. It's meant that I don't know what not attend functions or become part of their activity. Just for the record lang po, ano ba yung process of being in a leave of absence, the part of an alumnus?
You said earlier.
Yes,
So,
Mr. Chairman.
Chair, I would allow you to
Chairman.
make your
Chairman, Your Honors, good evening. May it please the committee. It pains me that I appear before you today as one of our students in the UST Faculty of Civil Law died in what appears as a hazing activity of the Aegis Juris Fraternity, one of the fraternities in the faculty. 8 years ago, one of the first things I did when I assumed the deanship was to take a leave of absence from the fraternity. I was a member, but not a founder, as widely reported. I joined in 1986, while the fraternity was founded in 1979. As dean, I had grand plans of improving further the quality of education, part of which is student discipline. I knew that if I were to lead, I could not do so under a cloud of bias in favor of a particular group or organization. I had to unmistakably signify I was severing ties, albeit temporarily, with the fraternity, so I can discharge my functions impartially. My taking a leave was not just symbolic. From that day on, I purposely refrained from participating in any frat-related activity. There was just an instance years ago when our law firm's basketball team had a friendly match against the fraternity, but I played as part of the Divina Law team, not of Aegis. Since the death of Mark Lacson, a student of UST in 2001 due to a hazing incident at ROTC, UST has been very aggressively campaigning against any form of hazing. This was reflected in its policies, the revisions to the student manual, and strictly worded undertaking that all organizations are required to sign as a precondition for the yearly application. In addition to that, the Faculty of Civil Law, the head of the Student Welfare Development Board, tackles in detail the policies against hazing and campus violence during the yearly orientation of new students. This is not to say there have been no untoward incidents involving fraternities during my stint, but in those cases we acted decisively. It has been our SOP to immediately impose preventive suspension pursuant to Section 106 of the Manual of Regulations for Private Higher Education, and as a precautionary measure against any interference in the conduct of the investigation. Violence causes extreme anxiety among students in campus. There's a great tendency that the presence of responsible persons may have an intimidating effect on potential informants or witnesses. In my entire stint, a significant number of fraternity members have been suspended preventively. Appropriate penalties were also imposed to responsible members in 2 cases of frat-related violence. I have likewise not hesitated to debar or drop from the rolls frat members regardless of affiliation for other reasons, such as non-compliance with academic requirements. Some of these debarred members of AGs were in fact among the names floated as possibly involved in the death of Acho. I first found out about the supposed student's death sometime in the afternoon of Sunday. The faculty secretary told me that reports had reached him of a student dying during a supposed fraternity activity. My immediate instruction was to confirm the report and get as much detail since the faculty secretary himself had no personal knowledge. That was Sunday. The next morning, the death of Acho was already in the news. I was shocked, but tried to get in touch with Acho's parents, who a relative who was my former student. I spoke to his grieving mom. At that time, understandably, was very emotionally distressed. She told me to help them get justice for their son. I gave her my word that I would. That same day, I convened immediately the Faculty Council, as well as Student Welfare Development Board, which conducts admin investigation involving students. I placed the AG's members under preventive suspension, as has been our SOP in keeping with Section 106 of the MORFE. The Father Rector created an independent body to investigate the incident, consider the gravity of the offense, and to guard against any impression of partiality. On Tuesday, the names and contact details of AG's members had been submitted to the police. On Wednesday, the independent committee directed the lifting of the preventive suspension. The police had already begun their own investigation, and we deemed it best to let authorities proceed as they saw fit. The fullest cooperation on our part. That same day, I went to the wake of Acho, along with other UST officials, and again vowed to his grieving parents that I would do everything in my power to help bring those responsible to justice. Finding out what happened, I had made a plea for those involved to come out and assist in the investigation. One of them heeded my call, John Paul Solano, who is now in the custody of MPD. To the rest, I reiterated my call for them to surface and shed light on what happened. It is a time for them to show courage and adherence to the law. Act like lawyers they had hoped to be, and not like criminals who hide in the dark and cower in fear. There's nothing shameful in owning up to one's mistake. I know that this is just the start of a long process of attaining justice. We need more participants to come out to shed light on the facts. It's my hope that John Paul's brave example will be followed by the rest. Like I have told the UST community, we should let our grief be at the same time our wake-up call. We're not going to allow the death of Acho to be in vain. Those responsible will be meted the appropriate penalties. More importantly, however, another review of our policies pertaining to frat and their activities will be made. Even as we mourn the loss of a precious life, we intend to make full use of the lessons this unfortunate incident can teach us. I will be submitting separately my concrete proposals for legislation regarding the issue of hazing, which I sincerely hope will help the committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The chair recognizes the co-chair of the joint committee hearings, chairman of the Committee on Justice and Rights, Senator.
Sir, are you aware of the rights and principles of ages during fraternity, such as the holding of a welcome party after the so-called finals, the course of which Acho allegedly died.
I'm not aware, Mr. Chairman.
You are not aware. As a fraternity alumnus, you are definitely held in high esteem. Fraternity. That's why there was a statement made by Acho na sa mga member ng fraternity ay naging dean na ng US Faculty of Civil Law. Categorically deny any participation in any part of the fraternity's initiation process.
I deny categorically, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Dean. Dean, I will get to overall policy implementation in my questioning later. But I want to assess the implementation of Republic Act number 8049 insofar as Acho's case is concerned. Section 2 of Republic Act number 8049 requires that prior to any rites or rituals, written notice must be filled or submitted to the school authorities at least 7 days for the activity. Sir, do you have a record of how many fraternities, sororities, or organizations filed notices with the administration of the Faculty of Civil Law in compliance with Section 2 of Republic Act number 84?
Mr. Chairman, hazing in whatever form or manner is prohibited by UST. The manual of UST provides explicitly that it is not allowed, is prohibited. In fact, it's a condition for recognition that the officers must undertake not to perform any act of hazing, Mr. Chairman.
So you're saying that aegis juris did not file or submit a notice prior to the initiation rights of Acho?
None, Mr. Chairman.
If notice was not filed by aegis juris for the initiation of Acho, then you would agree with me, Indivina, that the fraternity violated Republic Act number 8040.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, and even if there is notice, as I said, hazing in whatever form or manner is not allowed in UST.
I thank you for that, but unfortunately, Mr. Chair, the law is also silent on penalty to be applied when there is a violation of. Mr. Chair, just to go on, may I ask Dean Tina, what are the existing fraternities, sororities in the UST Faculty of?
We have Aegis Juris Fraternity, Mr. Chairman, Gamma Delta Epsilon, Suprema Lex, Lex Equitas Sorority, Regina Legis, and Astria Sorority, Chairman.
And these existing fraternities or sororities recognized or accredited by the Faculty of?
For this year, Aegis Juris is not recognized, Mr. Chairman.
It's not recognized.
That's right, Mr. Chairman.
Because it's also a fact, Mr. Chairman, that Aegis Juris has not been accredited by the Office of Student Affairs of the University of Santo Tomas. Mr. Chair, let me ask Dean Divina, what are the requirements for a fraternity, sorority to be recognized or accredited by University Faculty of Civil Law?
It must be a legitimate organization, Mr. Chairman, and of course has to be composed of bona fide students. But in relation to this query or investigation, Mr. Chairman, they're required to undertake that they should not engage in hazing in any manner or form.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, the USD Faculty of Civil Law has a website, doesn't it? And yes, here, the website is being sponsored by Divina Law Offices. Is that correct?
We commissioned a software developer to do the website, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, in the USD Civil Law website, there is a web page for the Faculty of Civil Law website. When one accesses the website and checks on non-academic organization, you will be directed to a homepage. Non-academic organization. First in line is Aegis Juris Fraternity. But right now, Mr. Chairman, if you go to the website, wala na po ito, tinanggal na. I have a copy, Mr. Chair. just recently nandun po. And I'm not sure, Mr. Chairman, if Acho actually saw this and thought a good idea to join the fraternity. The Dean of the UST Faculty of Civil Law aware of this?
I just coordinate with the faculty secretary, Mr. Chairman.
Because, Mr. Chairman, this is correct. Inclusion of ages jury, as mentioned a while ago, is not even accredited. The official website of UST Faculty of Civil Law appears to be an endorsement, Mr. Chairman, the part of the school to join the fraternity for potential and current students of the school.
Chairman, well, the website was put up years ago, and I'm not sure if it's updated, Mr. Chairman.
I'm telling you, Mr. Chair, that it's here, have it with me, and
But you can be assured, Mr. Chairman, that when that website was put up and it made reference to fraternity that's on the premise that they are duly recognized by the university. It's an annual recognition, Mr. Chairman, so they have to comply with the requirements every year. So if they do not comply with the requirements, then they are not accredited for the given year.
would you agree with me, Dean Divina, recruitment and membership to the fraternities and sororities in the Faculty of Civil Law did not stop from the time of the passage and implementation of Republic Act number 8049 was passed until the present?
Mr. Chairman, I don't think there's something wrong with joining fraternity. It's a very noble organization. It exists for lawful purposes to foster brotherhood and camaraderie and give support to one another. So there's nothing wrong in joining a fraternity. Hazing is wrong in all accounts, so far as we are concerned. But hazing is not synonymous with fraternity joining, Mr. Chairman.
Is Acho the first casualty? Was the
Unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, yes, and it happened during my time. That's why it's very painful likewise.
Mr. Chair, what is the administrative procedure, the UST Faculty of Civil Law in case of hazing-related incident?
Mr. Chairman, we proceed on the premise that there is no hazing, and if that is violated, we conduct investigation and impose the appropriate sanctions.
Chairman, when he
Couple of months ago, for the incident. It's well, Mr. Chair, may I ask now our police investigator for fact-finding question, very brief. Unahin ko lang po yung pagkakatagpo kay Acho. Kasamaang palad, sinabi po na dead on arrival ang kalagayan niya, pero nawin lang po natin, sigurado po ako mayroon siyang gamit na hawak kung panahong idinala po siya sa Chinese General Hospital. Meron po ba siyang cellular phone, si Acho, nung dinala siya sa Chinese General Hospital? And alam nating may cellphone kasi si Acho kasi ginamit po ito nung tumawag po siya ng Uber driver pang kunin ang gamit niya at balik sa bahay nila.
Your Honor, when the body of the Acho Castillo was examined at the Chinese General Hospital, there was no cell phone at the time in the remains, or the immediate body of victim, Your Honor.
As of now, we have yet to find out if there's a cell phone recovered.
There was no cell phone recovered, but according to the parents of Acho Castillo, there were several missing items from his possession, to include the cell phone, certain personal effects, his wallet, credit cards, and sum of money. This is precisely why also we're charging them for robbery on that account, Your Honor.
Natay na, ninakawan.
Senator, I would just like to be clarified that updated po.
It's not updated.
Meron ditong na-upload. Memo order dated September 20.
Mr. Chairman,
Since it looks
for
updated to
Chairman, for issuances of pronouncements, they're updated, but the content is not updated, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, pero dapat i-check din po natin yun, perhaps with the telecommunications company para makilaman natin kung mga nakausap na ano po nangyari. Kulang po palalampasin na kasama po natin dito sa mga kasamahan sa Aegis Jury, si Mr. Solano. Mr. Solano, to know kung papaanong na-recruit si Acho, ikaw ba ang nag-recruit sa kanya?
Good evening. No po. I'm an inactive member. And I'm currently not enrolled in the
But would you know kung kailan siya ni-recruit? Paano siyang...
Your Honor, none in my personal knowledge.
Thank you. Balikan ko na lang yung mga investigators natin. Sir, natukoy niyo po ba o alam niyo na ba kung saan nangyari ang insidente ng Acho?
Based on the evidence provided by eyewitnesses and also from in the course of investigation, the hazing or initiation rites was held or conducted in the frat library premises located along Navarra Street between Dapitan and Laong-Laan Streets in Sampaloc, Manila.
Alam ko, Yaran, kapit sa Dapitan. Sir, lumalabas sa mga balita na, no, na nakaalis na po ng bansa si Ralph Caballes Rangia. Alam po ba natin kung nag-iisa po siyang lumabas o kasama po siya? Meron na po ba tayong alam kung kailan nabili yung ticket, itong EVA Air ticket? Sino po yung may credit card po ba?
Yes, sir. Initial information we have that Ralph Trangia left the country last September 18, bound for Taipei and then proceeding to the United States. With him is his mother, Miss Cecilia Trangia. As to the details of the purchase of the airline tickets and to the details of the travel, that is still subject of our ongoing investigation.
Thank you, sir. Magwawakas na po ako. Alam niyo po ba kung, policy question lang, sir, no? Alam niyo po kung mayroong agarang o special procedure na isinasagawa ang pulis kapag natukoy na dahil sa hazing ang rason ng pagkamatay ng isang dinala po kunyari sa ospital?
Sir, for the information of the Honorable Senate, at the time when the body of Asho Castillo was reported to Homicide Section, at the time we were not aware that he was a hazing victim. In fact, we were considering him, he was an unidentified dead body reported to us by the Chinese General Hospital, probably a victim of extrajudicial killing, drug-related murders, summary accusation, or rub-outs, which is at the time, which is not common, or not uncommon in different streets of Manila. So that's why we had a difficult time of investigating the incident, particularly the person who's supposed to have brought the body of Asho Castillo to the hospital claimed that he was the one who discovered that lifeless body, and out of the goodness of his heart, a good Samaritan, he was the one who brought this body to China's General Hospital. It is only then that we found out that he was a member of the Aegis Juris fraternity, and the statements given by the parents of Asho Castillo that we were able to determine that the possible death of Asho Castillo was hazing related or fraternity related, Your Honor.
If it is hazing related and it looks like it, is there a protocol or sistema paano iti?
In our operating procedure, sir, we'll just consider it
It's
as
just an ordinary...
murder homicide investigation, but considering that we were able to determine that it's considered, it is connected to a hazing activity with the University of Santo Tomas, we have coordinated with the administration and school officials at that university.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Senator
Minor
Grace.
correction on the order of arrival of the senators. After Senator Po, Senator Aquino, he arrived ahead of Senator Subiri, Gatchalan, and the others. That Senator Po is
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. Unahin po natin ang tanong na ito kay Mr. Solano. Ikaw ang susi dito para mas maintindihan natin. Pagkat ikaw nga ang nakakita dun sa katawan. Acho. Ang una mong statement, hindi mo kilala ito, napadaan ka lamang doon, ngayon binago mo ang sinabi mong yan. Mahal mo ang pamilya mo, hindi ba?
Your Honor, yes po.
Mahal mo rin siguro yung bayan mo
Yes, Your Honor.
at ang sarili mo. Ngayon, pagkakataon mo na sa ka lang dito, daming miyembro, mga kasama mo, ikaw lang ang naririto. Ano ba talaga ang nangyari sapagkat sa report, hindi talaga sa balot to katawan na yun. Ano bang nangyari? Paano mo sinabi mo CCTV footage na nagsabi kilala pala. Bakit ka nagsinungaling? Tapos binawi mo rin. Pakikwento nga, ano ba talaga ang papel mo dito? Nangyari.
Your Honor, I would like to clarify. Kilala ko siya. Hindi na kilala. Hindi na po ako nagpupunta. Hindi rin po active. I am a working.
Pero
Your
ka-frat mo. Ka-frat
Your Honor.
mo. Dahil miyembro siya ng frat, di ba? O siya ini-initiate doon sa frat.
Wala po akong knowledge about regarding
Okay,
sa
so
activities
paano mo
ng
siya
fraternities.
natagpuan? Katawan. Bakit ka na?
Your Honor, I was Saturday morning. I was on the comfort of my. Someone called me. It's a number.
Tumawag sa'yo.
Your Honor, I cannot tell right now. I would say it on my affidavit since they filed multiple cases against me. I voluntarily surrendered to aid this case, but they filed cases against.
Pero alam mo, kahit na sabihin mo yung pangalan nila, kung totoo naman yun, anong kaso ang pwede nilang mapatong sa... Sabihin na.
Your Honor, I am just in.
Makasama mo sa frat. Kung hindi mo man sabihin ang pangalan kasi.
Yes po. I would.
Magan ka,
They just said punta raw ako.
kakasaan.
Punta raw po ako sa frat library.
Tama yung sinabi ninyo. And that frat library. Saka ng frat library.
Actually, that's not the the time na pumunta po ako. I denied there. Tumanggi po akong pumunta since I'm working Saturday, Sunday on my father.
So, you didn't proceed to the
I did
frat
not proceed
library
right away.
right away, meaning you proceeded after a few hours passed.
They called me again and
So, after they called you, ilang oras ang nakalipas?
around 30 to 40 minutes po, Your Honor.
So, okay, less than an hour. And then
The same frat member called me po.
you went to the library.
I asked why because the first time they called, I didn't ask why, and not that they didn't ask why. I asked why, but they said basta. Second time, they told me the reason why I should go.
So when they told you the reason why you should, what reason?
They just told me that someone collapsed.
Someone collapsed. Okay. So you proceeded to the library. Let's go there. So you were at the library, and what did you see?
I saw someone na naiga sa floor.
Okay. And as soon as you saw that person lying on the floor, you examined that person. Why did they
Yes.
call you in particular? You're the medic. Do you have any medical training?
I do have medical trainings.
Okay. In what capacity? Are you a pre-med student? Did you
I'm
take
a
DMT?
registered medical technologist.
Okay. So you examined the body and you came to the conclusion that this person is dead.
On the first look po, he looks unconscious lang po, Your Honor.
Okay, and then what were your next?
The first thing
Action.
I checked po is the pupils and then the pulse po.
Tapos, kinuha mo, anong ginawa na ninyo? Dinala mo sa ospital o anong ginawa
Not yet
mo?
po. When I checked the pulse, I didn't hear anything po. I administered CP.
Nag-CPR ka pa.
Yes po.
Okay. Tapos noon, dinala mo sa ospital.
Yes po.
Ikaw lang mag-isa.
I was with some frat members po.
So, may mga frat members. Bakit ikaw lang ang na-identify? So, ikaw lang ang nagtagal sa ospital.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Okay. Tapos, nung tinanong ka, sinabi mo na lang, nadampot mo doon sa Balot Tondo.
Ang totoo po, Your Honor, they told me to say. A frat member po that I would include in my affidavit.
Alam mo, Mr. Solano, parang gusto ko maniwala talaga na ikaw yung nagawa nilang biktima din dito. Dahil kung kasama ka man o hindi, sigurado ko, hindi ka nag-iisip. Maaaring tinawagan ka na lang nga nila nung bandang huli para dalhin nitong si Acho doon. Babalik ako sa inyo. Nais ko muna. Mr. Castillo, may napabalita. Tinawagan ninyo si Dean Divina para alagaan ng anak ninyo sa initiation rites or dito tawag dito. Wala kayo. Hindi kilala si Dean. Okay. Ngayon, Dean, kayo ay, well, isa kayo sa mga naging miyembro pero ngayon kayo ay nalaman ninyo yung nangyari dahil kayo yung USC faculty. Ano yung
Bago po ang aming faculty secretary, sabi ko na mag-gather po ng more details at kunin yung name and address kung available. Ang plano ko sana, Your Honor, pag nakuha namin yung pangalan at address at ma-confirm talaga may patay, punta ko po sana yung parents. And sinabi ko po sa aming faculty secretary na sabihan din aming Father Regent para malaman niya. Nung Monday po, lumabas na yung balita, kaya napatawag po agad ako ng meeting na aming faculty council.
anong petsa yung Monday? September. Ay, hindi bala na. Kasi nakakabawas din to. Marami akong gusto tanungin. Isa sa mga naging action mo ay suspindihin yung mga di umanong nasama dito. Fraternity. Alam nyo, marami na ring mga, totoo ba na ito, juris na ito, nasama rin sa isang pagkakagulong nangyari sa Manila Hotel. Mr. Coronel, karoon ng insidente, hindi ba?
Yes, Your Honor. That happened on September 4, 2016, on the first day of the 2016 bar examinations.
Ano nangyari doon? Kaguluhan.
There was a fraternity rumble involving members of the Aegis Juris fraternity and another UST Law fraternity as Gamma Delta fraternity.
Ano nangyari? May nasaktan?
Yes, there were persons injured on both sides and that they were brought also for investigation at Manila Police District.
What was your
Headquarters.
course of action? Thank you, sir. What was your course of action at that time? Did you spend also who were involved in that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I issued the order of suspension, preventive suspension against all members and officers of both fraternities. And I created right away a committee to conduct an
But right
investigation.
after the investigation, not when the investigation was
Your Honor,
pending.
the Monday following the incident, I issued the order right away.
Because what's quite surprising also is that even before all of the facts were, well, not even all, but even had any action done, already suspended the.
Yes, Your Honor, it's a preventive suspension, Your Honor. It's a precautionary measure against possible interference in the conduct of the investigation. At the same
Interference, they're not exactly in a power
Your Honor,
students.
Your Honor, I mean talking to possible or potential witnesses. And
Yeah,
at the same,
yeah.
same
Pero, sorry. Sir Coronel, hindi ba? Mas nahirapan pa nga kayong hanapin itong mga estudyanteng ito dahil hindi na nagpapapasok?
At the time after the Axio Castillo report given to us, we had a difficult time looking for members of the Aegis fraternity
Precisely because they weren't anymore showing school.
because we were told that they had been prevented or prohibited from entering the school campus at the time as a result of the suspension order issued by the dean. of faculty
Okay.
student.
Sir, after the incident, after these things happened, do you have any info where those fraternity members gathered after the crime was committed? Meron ba kayong information? Saan sila nagpunta? Kumupkop sa kanila? Sir,
Yes.
you're under oath. Please tell us what you know. No, Mr. Coronel.
Yes, ma'am. We have received reports that officers and members of the fraternity who were involved in the initiation rites were being coddled or being kept by senior members of their fraternity.
Which particular?
At this time, Your Honor, if I may, we will not reveal their identities because they're still subject of investigation.
But, sir, with the information that you have, would you say that the senior member is currently present in this plenary?
I have no direct evidence as of now regarding to
But-
that particular.
I know that
Sir.
you're not mentioning the name, but then, with the information that you have, isang mataas na opisyal dun sa kanilang fraternity na naririto. Hindi mo sinagot. So, siguro naririto. Okay. Matanong din kita, siguro, kayo po hindi na kayo aktibong member ng inyong chat, di ba? Kasi, sa kayo. Sa inyong law firm, nandun ang miyembro
About 6 or 7 out of 60 lawyers.
or 7.
Out of 60 lawyers.
I just want to make sure that there's no undue favoritism or case. But I think it's quite telling that after the incident, pagkatapos nangyari yon, anong kasama doon sa hazing na yon ay pumunta, kinupkop, isang mataas na opisyal din ng fraternity group. Ngayon, balik na lang tayo dito na lang ito kay Mr. Solano. Sasabi mo ba dito, categorically, na wala ka talagang kinalaman sa pagpatay dito?
Yes po, Your Honor, outright.
Okay. Masasabi mo rin ba dito na ikaw ay tinawagan lamang ng mga miyembro ng fraternity para nga, dahil nga ikaw ay may background sa na tignan nitong si Acho at ikaw din ang nagdala dun sa...
Yes, Your Honor.
So, masasabi mo ba din dito, dahil nga sa expertise mo, nakita mo yon na siya talaga ay pinatay?
No, Your Honor, I'm not a doctor.
Maybe you did not witness firsthand the actual beat.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Walang siguro, meron isang editorial na nababas, Mr. My Brother, My Killer. Ang ibig sabihin nun sa ating wika, ang kapatid ko ang berdugo. Ganun yung nangyayari dito sa atin. Ang mga taong tinitingala natin, ang mga taong dapat nagpoprotekta sa atin, sila pa mismo ang nagbawi ng buhay ng isa. Sir Solano, ikaw ba ngayon gusto mong tulungan si Aacho na magkaroon ng hustisya?
Yes, Your Honor, that's why I voluntarily surrendered to a investigation.
So I realize that you cannot probably divulge all of what you know now because a case being filed against you. But we are hoping and just the fraternity and the implication this has on other young individuals who are pursuing their dreams, are trying to find a way to have a brotherhood, hoping that they will be protected. Susi sa'yo yan. Huwag kang matakot sapagkat kahit na sila ay mga makapangyarihang tao, wala ditong pagdating sa katarungan. Dapat lahat tayo pantay. Man ka namin dito. Huwag kang mag-alala, huwag kang matakot na malakas kasi ang mga namumulan. Taong bayan ang nasa likod. Maraming salamat po, Mr.
like to respond.
I would like to thank lang.
I
Your Honor.
recognize, Senator. There's a Facebook chat, eternity. Changes struck me. On at 9:11 a.m. Sunday. Nakalagay dito, Axel emergency. Ito rin ba si Pop?
My nickname is Popoy po, pero
Okay.
I cannot
Anyway.
categorically say.
Emergency, pwede po hingin number ni Pop. Nahanap ka. Dahil wala ka pa doon. Number mo. Ang sumagot, sabi niya, yan number niya sa akin, pa-check, pero si OJ, ang tumawag kanina, they would be, yan, Jay. Tumawag kanina. Ang time dito, 9:21. So looking at the Facebook chat, Axel was looking for the number of Popoy at 9:11. Tapos, pakiconfirm ito, Chief Superintendent. Per news reports, Castillo was declared dead on arrival at around 9:21 a.m. Tama
Yes,
ba
sir.
yan?
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor. This is pursuant to
kung,
the
kung
certification.
hinahanap si Popoy ng 9:11, ibig sabihin nito, buhay pa si Acho. Kasi 9:21 siya declared dead on arrival. Following this timeline, it appears that Solano had already picked up the body and was already on his way to the hospital. Na-imbestigahan niyo ba ito? Itong, we have a copy of this group
The
chat.
Facebook exchanges, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
what do you make of this?
We forwarded it to our anti-cybercrime group, sir. So they're the ones who will be validating
authenticate.
it and authenticate. Yes, sir. I'm waiting for the results as of we
Yes.
speak now.
Assuming that authentic ito, no? What do you make of this?
Apparently, there's a conspiracy to cover up the details
Yes,
regarding that.
because pagkatapos noon, ang sabi ni Arvin, yung si Arvin Balag, delete nyo na muna. And then Arvin again, code of silence. Manahimik na lang muna lahat. Arvin again, deactivate kayo account. Sumagot, deactivate ako. And then Popoy, Brads, applicable to 3 hours detention rule. And
Yes, sir.
this is part of your
That's part of our cybercrime exploitation and
Yes.
investigation.
Sir,
part of the evidence once authenticated by cybercrime unit. Cybercrime.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, very quickly lang. Siguro paalala ko lang kay Mr. Solano kasi sinasabi natin na nandito tayo para rin yan siya ng lakas loob. Eh, malalaking taong kabangga niya rito eh. Kailangan natin ikaw tulungan.
Senator Bam is recognized.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman. First of all, my condolences to the family. Our trend happened to you. Gusto ko po munang malaman, Castillo, how did you find out anak ninyo? And what time was this and what day? Yeah, please, please, go ahead, sir.
Are taught stand before find answer. Our heart breaks sad. Very sad. God brought us so had many hopes, wanted to be senator and even justice of, and we dreamed all of We're devastated that senseless barbaric act can put an end to those. We are no different from any other parent. Live our lives for our children, wishing always to shield them from harm, protect them from kindness, shelter them from justice. Forever be tormented by the thought that the AD invited him only to treat him like an animal. After killing our son and dumping him in Chinese general on September 17, they only informed us of and whereabouts on September 8, day late. We want to know the truth of what happened that night. Every detail so we can live his final hours. Let him know now that he is not alone, that we are always with him. Continue to plead with the administrators of Santo Tomas, the administrative faculties, ensure a thorough, partial investigation. Appeal to the division of heroic leadership, regardless of his decisive and unequivocal action is needed. Some students who are afraid to come out because of the members of the Aegis fraternity talent hiding or led the country. Not rest and will not stop, and will stop. Everyone complicity Christ our justice. Only the Almighty God can judge you. But your actions now, whether of cowardice or ever define you as a person. The students of UST, classmates Atio, or Hor, as you call him, told us maybe, tell us more about what you know regarding Atio. As shown by the Senate here, the whole country is behind you. Pray that the good Lord grants you and ask her challenges. Always be grateful and never leave, just as we are grateful to classmates. Finally, we thank the good senators, inquiry, NP, Treasury Director General Bato, and the DOJ led by Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre, helping us in very difficult times. Facing had already claimed young lives. It happened every and their members of not free. Anti-hazing brotherhood. The truth presented so that young man or woman Atio had lived his life standing up for what he standing up for that made him very happy that in the end, life's purpose that he's not happened to anyone.
Sir Castillo. Sir, nabanggit po ninyo na nalaman lang po ninyo pangalawang araw, the second day, which was Monday, September 18. Can I find out paano po nyo nalaman?
What happened was waiting for promised us Saturday morning, Sunday morning, coming from the final ceremony, and then Sunday morning came and color text went on. Told him was the longer. Maybe start to worry when already past 12 because the time he promised us. It was already 6 o'clock and text. So then that my wife decided to do that pamphlet that body sold, started to call people, had their phone numbers, and our surprise, nobody was our surprise, nobody was. It
Sir, anong pamphlet po yun?
was a pamphlet that joined age.
Correct. So it's an aegis juris document.
I think so.
So lahat po ng tinawagan po doon, wala pong sumasagot. Please continue, sir.
Got really worried, talked to what to do. And nightfall came, already 9 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, wife said, why don't we hospital? Nacho is confined there. Immediately got up and led to the hospital. Wasn't there. Then also went to around the building in Navarra to check if there are people that are still celebrating. After going there, we saw. And then after that, we went back home. That's the time that got an anonymous text that San Atio.
Okay.
At first, we thought CH meant wrongly spelled, maybe stand for. But my daughter said, at Science General Hospital. What we did was to Chinese General Hospital. First day, I called up Chinese General Hospital. They emerged. At first, they said nobody by that. And then I was thinking maybe they used another name. I just said that we have a medium build 22 male admitted in hospital. But what they said, built, and sabi ko, that is my son is, and then I was talking that person was.
Sir, I don't want you to. I know it's very painful. This ito pong anonymous text po na nakuha po ninyo was on Sunday night or Monday morning?
Monday morning.
Monday morning na po. So nalaman ho ninyo yan Monday morning. You able to provide the telephone number? Ask the. When did you find out?
Sunday after. Of the death of a neophyte, I asked him to check further, get more information. Then at around 6 p.m., he said, patay na daw.
So Dean, in short, nauna pa kayo sa parents who.
Sunday, Mr. Chair.
Yes, because they found out Monday morning. So ibig ko, nagsabi ho sa yun na po yung kalagayan po Nacho, something. So sino po yung nagbanggit po sa na namatay na po siya? Person, a faculty member.
The faculty secretary informed me.
So Attorney Kapili informed you. Kapili, how did you find out na namatay po siya? Are you a member of the... Just for the record, sino yung member ng So, as well as Attorney Capili. Attorney Capili, sige po, paano niyo po nalaman na ganoon po yung kalagayan ni Acho?
Hindi ko po nalaman, Mr. Chairman, at yun. Ang tawag sa akin, 11 o'clock
AM on Sunday.
Sunday. At may tumawag sa akin at Chairman, I know about item or an information that of the faculty of died. I was surprised. Sabi ko, I did not.
Sino po yung nag-contact ko sa inyo?
Chairman, kind indulgent pass on. Understand, Mr. Chairman, that some of our grads reaching out other members in order to them to cooperate.
For them to cooperate or for them to keep quiet? To cooperate.
That's the
Right. Because
information.
Attorney Capili, gusto ho nating matrace, no? Because obviously, the source of that information was there during the time that Acho was killed.
When I asked him, he said he only heard it also.
So in short, nakita naman ho natin dun sa Facebook group. At a certain point, around that time, nagsabi na po na code of silence tayo. And yet, meron pa rin pong lumabas na information.
Yes, sir.
And if truly the alumni want to cooperate, they should be willing to tell us saan ho nanggaling yung mga informasyon na yan. And I'm sure Chief Superintendent Coronel can trace this back. So you will provide in confidence to the committee and to the PNP.
Yes.
Sino po yung nagsabi ho sa inyo
Yes, sir.
at around 11 a.m.?
Yes, sure, more or less.
Because, Mr. Solano, tama ho ba natawagan kayo at 9 a.m. of Sunday? Is that correct? You received the information na pumunta po at kunin po yung katawan ni Acho at 9 a.m.?
Your Honor, I was first called around 6:20 or 6:30 in the morning.
So, ganun kaaga. 6:30 a.m., alam nating may nangyari na because tinawagan ka na. Pero sumagot ka sa kanila after 45 minutes. Is that correct?
Your Honor, at first call, they did not told me what happened. The
Okay.
second call around 7:10 or 7:15 in the morning, they told me what.
What did they say? Did they say that Acho had passed away or they said may nagkakaproblema?
They told me that someone collapsed. I thought it was some.
So they did not indicate kung the life or death of Acho. They just said collapsed.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we can surmise that this happened at 6:30 a.m. So from that time, umabot ng 7:30, may Facebook account, karoon ng sharing of information na merong emergency, ikot na sa alumni by 11 a.m. And we can trace all of this back, Chief Coronel. Is this correct, no? Pwede hong matrace lahat to.
Yes, sir. We can validate and verify those.
Right. And have the attorneys here been cooperative with the investigation?
Yes, sir. So far, they have been providing us information.
Nabigay na ho ni Attorney Capili sa PNP yung pangalan nung nag-text sa kanya. For the record? Yeah, could you please use your mic for the record?
No, sir. He's not given us that information yet.
But you will be providing that, Attorney Capili.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you
Today, right
provide it
now.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Why don't you just now
Yes.
approach the write down the name.
Mr. Chairman, with the permission of Senator Aquino
Go ahead.
Solano, bakit sa Chinese General Hospital?
Your Honor, they just told me to follow them, Chinese jet.
Kasama ka
Yes, Your Honor, I won't deny that.
following. Go ahead, Senator Aquino. Follow up. Saan mo yung sasakyan nila?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anong sasakyan mo?
Your Honor, I was riding my motorcycle that time.
So you were riding a motorcycle, you followed the red pickup.
Yes, Your Honor.
Isa lang yun? Isa lang yun.
There were two, Your Honor. One black Fortuner and a red pickup.
And they brought him Chinese general.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, hindi ko nagdala.
Your Honor, I was the one who initiated that the victim should be sent to the hospital, Your Honor.
CG.
I just initiated that the victim should go to the hospital and then they chose Chinese Gen and they...
Thank you, Senator Aquino.
Sir Solano, yung they, lahat ng pangalan na yan ay bigay mo na sa PNP. Yung they na sinasabi mo.
Not yet, Your Honor, but I have my affidavit ready.
When will you provide the PNP the names of these individuals?
Your Honor, because I was filed charges...
So gusto mo pumasok sa witness protection in short?
No, Your Honor. I would be filing my affidavit after they filed through a counter charge.
Alright, because time is of the essence here, Chief Coronel, no? Time is of the essence here, naglilipatan na ho ng bansa yung mga ibang membro ng fraternity. Palagay ko po, mahalagang makuha na po natin yung alam mo ni itong si Mr. Solano. Ilan po sila? Maybe, since you don't want to provide the names, maybe you can inform us how many were in the black vehicle, how many were in the red vehicle?
Your Honor, with all due respect po, I invoke my right.
It's your right to self-incrimination, no?
Yes, sir.
Chief Colonel, may CCTV po ba yung Chinese General Hospital?
Yes, sir. There was a CCTV recording at the Chinese General Hospital and also in the vicinity of the said hospital,
Right.
showing
Mr. Solano.
Yes, sir. Mr. Solano on board a motorcycle following a red Mitsubishi Strada and a black Fortuner.
Bumaba po ba yung mga nasa pula at itim na kotse at nakuha po ng CCTV?
Yung isa lang po, sir, yung tumulong na ibaba yung katawan ni...
And the rest stayed inside their vehicles?
Yes, Your
They
Honor.
didn't even help?
Yes,
Naman
Your
tumulong?
Yes, Your Honor.
Chairman, be able to get the plate number at the Strada and Black Fortune.
We have both registration plates of both the Strada and the black.
You already know who them?
To the to the red Mitsubishi Strada, it belongs to Antonio Trangia, and black Fortuner, sir, has no confirmation yet from LTO, but we understand it belongs to a relative of Mr. Balag, Arvin Balag, supposed head of the fraternity.
Does Leo Lalusis?
He was also one of those mentioned as a person of interest in this.
Oh, I mean in the black Fortuner.
We'll have to check on the record, sir,
Okay,
because we
thank
have
you.
not received the confirmation from the LTO.
And Antonio Tranja is the same person.
No, sir. Based on the information we got, he is the father of Ralph Tranja, a member of the Aegis Juris.
Father, the owner is the
It's registered to the father, yes, sir, Antonio
and his
Tranja.
son.
The one who departed last September 18th for Taipei now.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, let me just wrap up my questions now. Let me ask the rest of the Aegis Juris members here, when did you find out that Acho had passed away? Mr. Attorney Fabella? At galing ho kanino nyo nakuha yung informasyon?
Good evening, Mr. Chair. I also found out about the incident around past lunchtime, also I think at the same time as Attorney Capili found it out, and also from senior brads who actually wanted also to know what happened because they themselves are not in the vicinity and they also would like to know what happened.
Please cooperate with the police and provide kanino po nang galing yung nag-text ho sa inyo. I'm
With
sorry,
their
Attorney Akende, are you a member of the fraternity? No?
No.
All right. From UP. There were members here who raised their hands sa likod po ni Mr. Solano. Sino po dito yung member ng fraternity? Yes, sir. Could you please state your name? No, I can't see your nameplate. At kailan nyo po nalaman na nangyari po yung nangyari?
Your Honor, I'm a member. Came to know I was at
Since founder na rin ho kayo, tanungin ko kayo, ano pong pakiramdam ninyo na nangyari po ito sa inyong fraternity?
Admission. I have only attended to when I learned it in the newspaper, I was shocked. Okay? I tried to get in touch with some of the members. I learned that the problem, whether I will come or not, was forced to come. When we first met, first question to me is, GP. Ang GP po sa amin, meaning Grand Prefectus, founder at president. GP, magko-cover up ba tayo dyan? Sabi ko sa kanya, no. At Popoy can attest to that. No. Okay, that's why precisely I came out. Let the axe fall where it should fall. That's my exact word.
Right. Salamat po.
That's why I told him and I encouraged him to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. We have already prepared the affidavit for that. We will name names there, but we will submit the affidavit. There is already a choice. But I can assure you there will be.
All right. Yes, attorney, nagtaas ho kayo ng kamay. Kayo pong katabi ho ni Mr. Solano. What is your name, sir?
Good evening, Your Honor. I am not an attorney, Your Honor.
But are you a member of the fraternity?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm a fifth-year student at the Faculty of Civil Law.
Kailan niyo po nalaman na nangyari po yung trahedyang ito?
I'm Jason Adolfo Rubinos, Your Honor. I came to know about it around Sunday evening, mga 6 to 7. Brad text me na sabi niya, may unconscious na fight, sabi niya. So, you better be on guard, sabi niya. And tapos, nagbalita po lang ako sa the following morning ng Monday na nabalitaan ko sa radio na yun na po, may ano.
Okay.
And,
General Coronel, no, you'll be able to track all of this information. Matatrack niyo po yan.
Yes, Your Honor.
And pinpoint the source of the information.
Yes, Your Honor.
Which will probably lead to who were actually there. Tama po.
Yes, Your Honor.
Were any of the Aegis Juris members here, for the record, were any of you present at the frat library during the hazing rites?
I am not present, Your Honor. I'm not aware that there is a final rights on that.
Attorney Capili.
I'm not aware of any initiation rights, and
Dean Divina.
Say with me, Mr. Chairman.
Din, meron ho kaming nakuhang balita na Mr. Castillo mentioned this in his statement na meron po mga estudyanteng gusto pong lumabas pero natatakot na miyembro daw po kayo ng fraternity, that there is a so-called perceived influence of the fraternity at the law school. I'll give you the chance to address that.
That's not true, Mr. Chairman. You know, there have been members of the fraternity who were debarred during my time, 3 to 4 key officers of the fraternity. And many of my decisions went against the fraternity, and that's why I'm not liked particularly by some members of the fraternity.
All right. Thank you, Dean. Finally, we received information, Mr. Chairman, na humingi po ng CCTV footage ang ating kapulisan. This was signed by Romel Anisete, Police Senior Inspector, and they requested for the CCTV footage of a law office near the frat library. This, if I'm not mistaken, is a... Just get the law office here. This is a law office po of Bernardo Fuentes and Associates. And they have a CCTV, but they have not responded to the request of the police to provide CCTV footage. Is this correct, General Coronel?
Your Honor, we requested a copy of the CCTV footage of that law office, but they provided us only this afternoon, Your Honor.
So
we already have
naka-provide, because we were planning to subpoena the
Yes, Your Honor.
CCTV footage, so no need.
Yes, Your Honor. The CCTV footage is already in our custody, and we're going to review the video recording on this
Alright.
one.
Salamat po, General. Mr. Chairman, maraming salamat.
Sir, according to my chief investigator, Your Honor, when they reviewed it, there was nothing to be shown. Wala po doon na-record at all. We'll have it examined by our technical experts kung binura sir intentionally or was not working at that time. So, we'll have
Sorry, so there was no footage that
Wala, no?
you received?
Binigay sa amin, sir, yung recording of the supposed recording of that CCTV camera, but upon review,
Before I recognize senators, any member or officer of the kindly identify, record the current officer. Grand Prefectus. Ngayon. GP. Name. Dami. So nobody wants to. Secundus internus. Secundus externus. Talagang wala. Ang gusto. Yeah, but
I think Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, Mr. Perfecto, Attorney Perfecto, Paterno, sorry, Attorney Paterno, aren't you a GP?
I'm addressing my question to any member.
There are many GPs. You are the founders. Is that correct?
All founders,
Ilan na ito yung tinatawag na GP? You're a GP. You're a founder. You don't know who your co-founders are? That's not relevant. You are a GP. You are a founder.
yes.
And you ought to know who the other co-founders are. I'm not asking you that.
I remember then Omar de Feralta,
Dean Divino, GP, your founder.
I'm not, Mr. Chairman.
Are you a segundo?
Not, Mr. Chairman.
What are you then?
Meaning,
What batch are you?
80 is, I joined 86.
Don't tell me you cannot remember.
No,
the
that's why I'm
batch.
trying to become a chairman. I joined in 1986,
1986.
That's
And
right.
the fraternity was founded when?
1979.
79. So you joined about 9 years, 6 years later.
7 years later.
7 years later.
Senator Sibiris. Anyway, di ba may sister sorority kayo? Gina, alam mo yung mga tatanong ko.
I have no personal knowledge po about the
There were reports na mayroong mga members ng student during
I received, but when I nalaman ko po, nagtanong po ako sa mga alam po sila about the, and sabi naman wala daw po
Chairman,
Mr.
sa
Chair.
Manila, well, I'd like to commend the Manila Police finest actions that you all the bad public getting lately. It's a silver lining in the thing that you can follow this general. Dami pong masa sa'yo, lalo na yung Pacho. General, you mentioned earlier that it was the incident happened during the Pratt Library, premises of the Pratt Library. That's confirmed.
That is the testimony and the information we have received, Your Honor.
So, who owns the Pratt Library?
Based on the information we've gathered, the building is a private structure, and the Aegis Juris Fraternity has been given permission by the owner to use it, Your Honor. Let me check my notes, Your Honor. My investigation, Your Honor. But based on the information that out of the liberality of the owner, that they're allowing the Aegis Juris Fraternity to use that space in that structure, Your Honor.
Key knowledge of who owns the building. So, their personnel immediately tell you.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm just checking my records, Your Honor. We were able to determine the identity of the owner.
While your staff is looking at the library, have you already entered the premises? Conducted investigation? Just looking.
Yes, sir. Not yet, Your Honor. We have applied for a search warrant with the Regional Trial Court of Manila last Friday, and the same is scheduled for raffle tomorrow. But in the meantime, we have already secured the premises under guard. We have posted duty personnel to prevent anyone from entering and leaving the premises as we speak, Your Honor.
So you've secured the premises.
Yes, Your Honor.
And around the area, I can't believe there are no CCTV cameras around the area of Pratt Library. Are there establishments there, either than members or establishments owned by members of actually?
Directly in front of the flat library, we were not able to get any CCTV recordings, but within the vicinity, Your Honor, we were able to obtain CCTV recordings from the adjacent street and the other thoroughfare leading to that particular address, Your Honor.
So, the vehicles that were parked there overnight, po ninyo?
Yes, sir.
Yung
Nakita po
license
doon.
plates, nakuha
Nakita
po
po
ninyo?
doon yung vehicles that were used in bringing the remains or the body of Acho Castillo to the Chinese General Hospital.
Very good. That's great news investigation. Your personnel.
The facility is owned by a certain Vicente Garcia, Your Honor, based on the information we have gathered.
The building.
Yes, sir. The structure, I'm sorry, sir.
Structure.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the structure, the Pratt Library, and the structure could be different. You know, when you rent a place out or buy a condominium, building may be owned by one personnel, but the structure itself or the room itself be owned by another under condominium setup.
Yes,
Have
sir.
you checked if that particular Pratt library had a different owner?
We
Under the register
requested
deeds.
documents regarding the ownership and the tenants of that building, Your Honor. We're just waiting for the results of our verification.
Very
But we have
important to
it.
find out if it's.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, how about the gentleman? General, how about the gentleman listed on the immigration lookout bulletin? Dinagdagan na po ito, di ba? It was initially 16, 6, at ngayon 20 na.
Yes, sir. 20, Your Honor.
I
22 names.
believe that one statement of Rosa that he ordered also out for, or the manhunt for the individuals. Have you gone to these people's home, actually invited them for inquiry?
For those who have addresses as registered with the Office of the University of Santo Tomas, yes, sir, we went to their respective residences, but we were not able to locate them. But to the lookout bulletin, Your Honor, as provided by the school officials, we have submitted the same to the immigration for their appropriate action.
Sayang wala po dito si Secretary Vitaguire. I was hoping here, hopefully in the next hearing, if we have one, Secretary can join
Your Honor,
us.
is represented by the OIC of the National Prosecution Service, Catalan.
Yes, Prosecutor General Catalan, what is the plan of action of OJ?
Well, for the information, Your Honors, for the record and for the information of Honors, Mr. Solano was subjected or underwent an inquest procedure this morning. He's being charged for violation of the anti-hazing law, murder, obstruction of justice, robbery. Now, since an inquest state extradite,
Secretary confirmed this, Prosecutor General. Secretary had mentioned that he cancel, have the DFA and request the DFA to cancel the.
Yes, Your Honor, I confirm.
Thank you. Going back to General Coronel, very important, General, na malaman mo may-ari nito library. Because before I go there, I'd like to ask Dean Divina, are you familiar with Aegis Juris?
I'm not aware, Mr. Chairman.
For ranking of Aegis Juris, the ranking of Juris, have you utilized that? Have you been to that library?
I've been there about 10 years ago, Mr. Chairman.
10 years ago, you
It's
didn't
just
know who owned the
a library, Mr. Chairman.
Somebody has to.
But I do not know the owner,
Unless
Mr.
it is
Chairman.
the owner, unless it's owned by the university.
I do not know the owner, Mr. Chairman. I've been there about 10 years ago.
Now I'd like to direct the question to faculty secretary, attorney.
Sir.
Where the crime had happened. You're both lawyers. I'm not both lawyers, and you know the importance of being fully well. Circumstances surrounding the crime, and the area happened library of Brotherhood. Do you know the owner?
Not aware. Chipo.
Hope you're not subject, not licensing your. You know, this will define you, members of the. So that's very important, and I bring this up, Mr. Chairman, because it's actually under Section 4, and General, napakalaga na makinig po kayo dito, General, because under Section 4, on the penalties, the owner of the place where the hazing is conducted shall be liable as an accomplice when he has actual knowledge of the hazing conducted and failed to take action. So, kasama po yan sa batas under the original anti-hazing law. General, you have to dig deeper, find out the premises.
Yes, Your Honor.
And going back to you, Attorney Capili, I know how much time I have left. Back was not minutes. Thank you, Mr. As the broad of the Aegis Juris and UST Faculty Secretary, I'm sure you're familiar with the recruit or a member of the fraternity. Have there, the past year, there have been no incidences of victims of hazing by your fraternity? I mean, they recruited, walang problema.
None that I know of, Your Honor.
Yes, but they've recruited through the years, correct? I mean, past semesters.
I believe so, Your Honor, because they sometimes would pass.
So isn't that not a violation of Section 2? That your brotherhood, it's supposed to be no hazing or initiation rights of any form or manner by fraternity or sorority shall be allowed prior to notice of school authorities and heads of organizations 7 days of conduct of such initiation. So clearly your fraternity was violating that section by not letting you know that there were, they actually submit written notices of.
Not to the Dean's office, Your Honor, but not sure if they submitted to the Office of the Student Affairs.
We have here, are they here? Chairman? Because I believe, if you can correct me if I'm mistaken, Attorney Capili, it is a registered organization, correct?
The Office of Student Affairs can testify as to their accreditation, Your Honor.
The gentleman here, can we ask him to take, or the lady to take her oath? Chairman, is that right?
Right hand. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Ma'am, for the record, is the Aegis Juris Fraternity registered organization? Yes.
Not this school year, Your Honor.
Not this school year.
Not this
But
school year.
according to the testimony of Attorney Capili, that there have been recruits happened last year. Have they ever sent a notice of any initiation or welcoming rights?
None, Your Honor.
Have you been have you sent representative any of the initiation rights?
No, Your Honor.
So clear violation of Section 2 anti-hazing law.
Yes.
I hope the university takes the proper action.
Yes,
And just a few questions left, Mr. Chairman, on the law itself. Senator Joey Lina is here. Honor, I'd like to recognize the principal author of the law. I'm just going to ask a few questions. Senator Lina, for us to have you, you're a very distinct public servant. I'm sure you had the best of intentions passing the law in 1995 after the Lenny Villa case. The facts have it. Only the problem there, Mr. Chairman, is that the facts have shown after 22 years, only one case conviction. And a lot of legal loopholes have been cited. What do you think happened, Senator Lina?
It's a question of the entire criminal justice system, Mr. Senator. A law is only as good as it is enforced or implemented. This Republic Act 8049 was precisely crafted by the 9th Congress, address a gap in our legal system. What is that gap? There is no crime called hazing, whether under the revised penal code or under the special laws. The decision in Villarreal versus People of the Philippines clearly pointed that out. That case of Lenny Villa, and within the year of the death of Lenny Villa, 6 deaths were also reported. But very clearly, the court in the Villarreal versus People of the Philippines stated that had there been the anti-hazing law, the accused in the Lenny Villa case would have been punished, because prior to the Republic Act 8049, the cases that can be filed against those who are involved in hazing, which was not yet a crime at the time, would be murder, homicide, serious physical injuries, less serious physical injuries, or slight physical injuries. And when I was chairman of the Senate Youth and Sports Committee, I saw that it would be very difficult, extremely difficult, to identify, charge, and punish those who are involved in hazing, because you have to prove, number one, intent. Intent to commit a wrong. Among the legal, those who follow legal studies would know that intent, for example, in murder or homicide, serious physical injuries and other forms of injuries, we have to prove intent. Number two, we have to prove that the person accused was the one who inflicted the injury, whether it resulted in physical or serious, physical or psychological injury, even death. The individual persons or accused would be the ones that have to be meted with the penalty. And in Villarreal versus People of the Philippines, precisely the court said the conspiracy that the regional trial court said existed was not proven. So the regional trial court erred in sentencing the persons who were involved in the Lenny Villa case for murder. The only decision was reclusion, rather reckless imprudence resulting to homicide, with only a penalty of 4 months to 4 years and 2 days. So this present law has an underlying shift in philosophy. We will not charge anymore the persons accused in hazing under the revised penal code. It will be under a special law. And this is the special law. The objective is for the prosecution and the police not to prove anymore the intent to kill. Number two, the penalty was increased higher than the penalty imposed under the revised penal code. And this Republic Act 8049, according to the Supreme Court in Dungo versus People of the Philippines, says that the law is strong enough. And I'm giving you my presentation. I would like to have it into the record. In short, we may be barking up the wrong tree. Is it the law? Or is it the way the law is being implemented? In the first place, it's really very difficult, Mr. Chairman, to prove hazing. And it is much more difficult to prove murder or homicide or serious physical injuries. Because in fraternities and other organizations, you have to really prove one by one who inflicted the fatal blows. Individual culpability. But in the anti-hazing law now, mere presence in the hazing venue, if it is established that a person, and you can use the standard in Dungo versus People of the Philippines, because this is where the threat men were convicted. And on a personal note, the UP College of Law students who asked for my assistance in the year 2006, they asked for my assistance on how to go about this case that they are helping in Calamba, Laguna. So I told them, this is what you have to gather. This is the evidence that you need. You don't have to prove that the persons accused were the ones who inflicted the injury. You just have to establish their presence in the venue where the hazing was conducted. They can only exculpate themselves if they did something to prevent the commission of the crime. So that's how strong this law is. And the aggravating circumstance, special qualifying circumstance, Mr. Chairman, when I slap somebody, or I pinch somebody, and it's in connection with the hazing, if it is done outside the school, then the penalty is the maximum. What is the maximum penalty under the special law? It is life imprisonment. That's how strong this law is. And the Supreme Court in Dungo versus People of the Philippines took note of that. Now, if there had been, you see the Lenny Villa case, 1991, it was decided year 2012. And the 35 accused, most of them went scot-free because precisely the quantum of evidence to pinpoint the responsibility of the accused is much is greater. You have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. But under this special law, there is a disputable presumption. So, is the law being implemented? Are the police collecting the evidence? And is the fiscal filing the correct information? Is the court knowledgeable about the law? There is a judge in Cavite, Your Honor, who was dismissed for ignorance of the anti-hazing law.
Thank you very much, Senator Lina. Well said.
Wrap up,
And
allowed to wrap up lang. Apologies to
thank you
the...
for the enlightenment.
Unfortunately, Senator Lina, as I said, no numbers can't lie. Now there's only one case of conviction after several deaths. And maybe it's because we should change just the title alone, the fundamental title alone, an act regulating hazing. We should change it to an act banning, prohibiting hazing in initiation rights. Anyway, in closing, Mr. Chairman, in closing...
But that's very important. That point raised by Senator Subiri is very important. Unfortunately, when one interprets a law, one should not just read the title. Among lawyers, it's very clear the title of the law is not the law itself. You have to read the entire law, the provisions of the law.
Senator, I'm sorry, Chairman, I really have very short time, and I'd just like to have a manifestation to Dean. Dean, this case, to watch, I'll define you not as a lawyer. We all know you're a brilliant lawyer, Dean. Define you as a human parent, a father. It's happened to your child, what I'm talking. Please help the authorities, assist them and the family ferret out the truth, regardless of who.
Mr. Chairman, yes, I'm fully committed to ferret out the truth, and I'll make sure the perpetrators are brought to justice, even though they're my brats.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Gatchalian is recognized. Thank you, Senator Subiri.
Maraming salamat, Chairman. And ask a question kay ano. John, sa ngayon ikaw ang link, no? Ikaw lang palang, no, ang link between kay Acho at sa katotohanan. At sana, no, nais namin na tulungan mo kami, no, mo ang bansang Pilipinas maghanap ng katotohanan at para kay Acho. May mga ilang katanungan ako. Member ka ba ng fraternity?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Kailan ka naging member?
August 26.
2015. August of 2015. Ang nag-recruit sa'yo? Tatandaan mo ba? Siyempre, natatandaan mo. That's only 2 years ago. August of 2015, tama? 2016?
2015 po, Your Honor.
2015, that's ba nag-recruit?
Your Honor, I was recruited by also a neophyte that time, my classmate.
Anong pangalan niya?
His name is Dash Tan.
Anong pangalan?
Dash Tanchoco po.
Dash Tanchoco. Ano siya? Mas kasing edad mo lang? Mas matanda? Alumni? Ba siya officer?
He's my classmate po. Same age as me, Your Honor.
Ilan taong ka na?
27 po, Your Honor.
So 27 rin.
Yes po.
Ikaw rin recruit? Paan ka rin ba sa Ano naman sabihin? Yes or no lang naman yan, di ba? No, di no. Pahang ka ba sa hazing o hindi?
Yes po.
Pahang ka sa hazing.
Yes, Your Honor.
At si Dash, andoon siya. Ginagawa to sa'yo.
He was also a neophyte that time. My batchmate,
So
Your
dumaan
Honor.
rin siya sa hazing.
Yes po, Your Honor.
So kayong dalawa dumaan sa hazing.
Yes po.
Saan ginawa tong hazing na ito?
Your Honor, I think I should... With all due respect po.
Sa frat house ba? Sa ibang dito ba sa frat library?
But that I affirm not in the frat library.
Hindi ginawa sa frat library.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung mga gumawa sa iyo nitong hazing ay nandoon rin sa mga gumawa kay Acho?
Not in my personal knowledge, Your Honor, because that time I was not there. I was the last one. So the people that I would be naming on my affidavit, I do not know if their principal
diba,
position.
Nung tinawagan ka, pumunta ka doon, nakita mo si Acho, walang malay, tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
May mga tao doon, tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mga taong yun, andun rin ba nung ginawa sa yung...
Your Honor, not in my personal knowledge because I cannot see the faces during the whole period po.
So nung ginagawa sa yung hazing, naka-blindfold ka?
I was looking at the floor, Your Honor, honestly.
You were looking at the floor. So
Yes, Your Honor.
Hindi mo mamukaan.
Yes,
sino
Your
sila.
Honor.
Bakit ka sumali ng fraternity?
Honestly po, Your Honor, I was just I'm a impulsive type of guy. So whether you ask me, I always say yes.
Tumalong ka na lang nung invite ka ni Dash.
Yes, Your Honor.
At alam mo ba na magkakaroon ng meeting?
No, Your Honor.
Bakit ka naman pumayag pa? Nalaman mo may
Out of palabra de honor po, Your Honor.
tinuloy mo na lang dahil nagkahiyaan na.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kailan ka nag-aral sa UST?
Same date po, August 20.
Anong time frame when you
First year, first sem po.
So what year is that? What year was that?
August 2015.
So August 2015, and then you left?
On the same semester po. I was, that was April 2016, I left US.
Isang taong ka lang sa US?
Not exactly po. I filed an leave of
Solano,
absence.
Just remind you na sa lawyer, baka amin ka ng amin. Kaso,
It's a personal knowledge naman po. Thank you, Your Honor.
It's up to you. Di pa prescribed. Kami prescribed na. Kami attendant hotel. Ng 20 years, saka wala pang batas nung hinihis kami. So you better
Yes, Your
think
Honor.
about your answers first, ha?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So kailan ka na sa US?
I was at UST.
A year, month and year. Kita lang natin in time frame.
August 2015.
To?
Until April 2016 po.
August 2015, August 2016. And you underwent hazing noong August 2015 when you joined.
Yes,
the
Your
first
Honor.
month you joined the school.
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you an active member of the
No, Your Honor, because I was just I entered the fraternity because of palabra de honor.
Yun lang.
Yes, Your Honor.
When you were with the fraternity, alam mo ba si...
Before I joined the fraternity, I already know.
But have you, nakilala mo siya during stint in the... Active ka sa fraternity? Nakilala mo siya? Nagkaroon ba ka? At least nakamayan mo?
No, Your Honor. That, no.
So wala kang interaction with...
Yes, Your Honor.
How about the other officials, faculty.
No, Your Honor. I think they're a higher tier
So
professors.
wala kang nakilala dito nakamayan o nakausap.
No, Your Honor. Not in my knowledge.
Wala kang Kung let's go to the text message na release ng ating chair. Anong oras ka tinext?
They did not text me. They called me.
Anong oras yun?
6:30 in the morning. The first call.
First call is 6:30 in the morning. And sino yung tawag sa'yo?
A frat member. I would name the person on my affidavit with all due respect.
So 6:30 siya, nasaan ka nun nung tumawag siya sa'yo?
I was on the comfort of my bed at home.
Saan yun?
On my residence po, it's Caloocan City.
Sa Caloocan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Meron bang comfort na tutulog ka?
Yes, I was sleeping that time.
Meron bang nakakita?
I was sleeping with my girlfriend.
Meron kang katabi?
Yes,
Kaya
Your
palang
Honor.
comfortable ka.
Honor, that is incriminating.
Sorry, Mr. Chair.
My apologies po, Your Honor.
So, your girlfriend can testify you were indeed at home.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ano oras ka umalis bahay para puntahan si...
That was around 7:30 or 7:40 in the morning.
7:30, 7:40.
Your Honor.
Umalis ka na.
Yes, Your Honor.
See him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Text what the chairman said. At 9:11 a.m., they were still looking for your number. Di pa nila
sorry.
alam yung number mo eh. Ayan, yan ba number niya sa akin? Pa-check pero si OJ ang tumawag kanina. Pwede hingin number ni Popoy?
That's my nickname po.
So ikaw si Popoy?
But that I cannot confirm. If they were texting.
Hingin nila yung number ni Popoy. Yung number ni Popoy ang nag-appear doon sa bangkay ni Nacho.
Actually, Your Honor, actually, I do not have personal knowledge on that message.
But in any case, 7:30 ka umalis, but I'm just saying, by 9:11 from this text, hindi pa nila alam kung nahanap pa lang nila yung number mo.
Your Honor, I cannot comment because I do not have personal knowledge on that.
In any case, nung pagdating mo doon, Nacho, anong kalagayan niya?
Your Honor, he is unconscious.
But was he alive? Dead? Anong kalagayan niya?
Your Honor, I cannot confirm that person because I'm not.
So he was just anong natagpuan?
He was lying on the floor, Your Honor.
Lying on the floor.
Yes,
Was
Your
he
Honor.
breathing at least? Termin, you said you're a medical technologist.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ilan taong ka nag-aral ng medical technology?
4.5 years.
At least some form of knowledge.
Yes, Your Honor.
So was he even, hihinga ba siya o hindi? No, hindi lang.
I can confirm that he is not breathing when I came, Your Honor.
So nung pagdating mo doon, hindi na siya huminga.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sabihin, patay na siya.
I cannot confirm, so yes, I don't know, Your Honor.
Anong oras mo siya hinatid sa Chinese Gen? Remember?
That time, Your Honor, when we were ready to Chinese, I have no knowledge on the time.
Anong oras ka nilang dumating sa Chinese Gen?
Around 9 o'clock or 9:10 to 9:15.
9
I'm
o'clock?
pretty much not sure.
More or less lang.
More or less 9 o'clock to 9:15 in the morning.
9 o'clock, 9, 10. And bakit hindi ka sabi ng
Your Honor, they told me to tell that story.
And then, bakit mo naman sila sinundan?
I was very rattled that time, Your Honor. I'm very confused on what to do. So I just followed.
So sinundan mo lang. Sino yung nagsabi magsinundan?
A frat member, Your Honor.
Anong
That's
pangalan
also on
niya?
my
Anong
affidavit.
pangalan niya?
With all due respect, Your Honor, I would invoke my right to be.
But I think in due time you will said that you will execute an affidavit.
Yes, Your Honor, I have one prepared already.
And you will state the names.
Yes, Your Honor, I will. I already stated the names of those people on my affidavit.
The representative from you issued a lookout order. Is that correct?
Honor.
That included the name. Is that correct?
Have a copy of out order and Vice Immigration Lookout Bulletin Order as 20 persons.
The name Jason Adolfo in that
Yes,
list?
Your Honor. Case number 17.
Bakit ho siya include?
This lookout order, Your Honor, only given afternoon.
Okay.
And it was signed by the secretary.
Right. Jason Rubin present with us right now. I have a few questions, sir. Nag-aral pa, mentioned earlier, nag-aral pa kayo.
Good evening, Your Honor. Yes, Honor. I'm on my 5th year sa UST Civil Law.
Civil, under the 1 minute. Sir, quick lang, I'll wrap up. School under jurisdiction.
Divina, yes, Your Honor.
Sa school niya, ikaw ang
Hindi po sa school niya kasi UST po.
I mean, sa college.
Sa civil law po.
Sa
Yes,
civil
Your
of
Honor.
The College of
The Dean.
The Dean. You a member of the frat?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm a member of the fraternity.
How long you been a member?
I was a member since 2013 when I was a first year law student at the Faculty of Civil Law.
2013. Kailan ka pumasok doon?
2013.
So, ganun rin. Pasok ka sa school, balik ka ng frat immediately.
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
Did you undergo hazing also?
No, Your Honor.
So, hindi ka
Kindly ask your last question.
Yes,
Your
hindi
time
ka na
is up.
subject to hazing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, I'll reserve my other questions for the second round. Thank you, Mr.
Minority leader is recognized.
First. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to raise the question to Mr. Solano. Did I hear you correctly, Popoy, that you are now subjected to inquest?
Yes, Your Honor, earlier this morning po.
So may inquest na. But kailan ka ba na-aresto? Because an inquest when you are arrested and considering that it's a capital offense from the time of arrest, you have to be charged within 36 hours. Kailan ka na-aresto?
Your Honor, I was not arrested. Can my lawyer answer? Because it's illegal. I was voluntary surrendered.
Paano ka nagkaroon ng inquest ko? Anyway, nag-voluntary surrender ka, inquest not proper, surrender ka by recollection of my rules as Secretary. I was Secretary of Justice. Maybe your counsel can help us, Attorney Paterno.
Your Honor, this morning, an inquest proceeding proceeded. That inquest proceeding, I manifested and objected to the inquest proceeding. The case is not covered by arrest because the accused was not arrested by virtue of warrantless arrest, or virtue of. And in anticipation of that inquest proceeding, this morning, right after the filing of the complaint, I also filed an omnibus questioning the inquest proceeding, the ground that is not proper, is illegal, it's violation of Mr. Solano's right to preliminary investigation. What we are requesting is that a preliminary investigation be conducted and that he be given opportunity to submit. We can resolve this issue as soon as possible because we are ready to file our counter affidavit. And then we were also surprised that the offense that was filed is not only violation of anti-hazing law, but also murder, robbery, and obstruction of justice. Because we found out last Saturday that they are going to file murder. We also anticipated on that. So on our omnibus motion, one of the grounds that we raised for the outright dismissal of the case is that you cannot file a complex crime of mala inse and mala prohibita because cases covered by revised penal code like robbery, murder, they are crime mala inse. While case covered by anti-hazing law is a case mala prohibita, it's a special law. And as said by Justice Florence Regalado, a well-known authority in criminal law, retired, there can be no complex crime of mala inse and mala prohibita. That's why we requested for outright dismissal of the case and for the release of Mr. Solano. And in that...
Let me interrupt you there. For the release of Mr. Solano, you are willing to go through a preliminary investigation?
Not only that, Your Honor, in the omnibus motion, which is verified, he made an undertaking there that Mr. Solano will voluntarily appear in the preliminary investigation. Should he fails to appear, the prosecutor can consider as deemed forfeited and waived his right to preliminary investigation. So that is a show of good. Okay? So that's why I was requesting the prosecutor they can release Mr. Solano. Because if Your Honor, they will proceed that inquest proceeding and they will file the necessary information on the following day or whatever. Definitely, we will file the necessary action going up to the delay the proceeding.
Yes. Now, may I hear from the Department of Justice, given this development?
Yes, Your Honor.
Apparently, Mr. Solano, I think it can be verified that he was not arrested. How can...
Yes, Your Honor, we would admit that Mr. Solano voluntarily surrendered the proper authorities. There appears to be an affidavit, Your Honor, but this affidavit refers to the offense of perjury and obstruction, Your Honor, which are not inquestable, Your Honor. So what I mentioned a while ago, Your Honor, is that inquest proceeding is summary in nature, and we will resolve the case either today or up to tomorrow. We have not yet resolved it.
No, but on the basis of the established fact that Mr. Solano was not arrested but he surrendered, how can your inquest proceeding stand?
Precisely, Your Honor. Although we are dealing on the merits of the case.
No, we are not dealing on the merits of the case. We are dealing on the procedure
Yes,
that is
Your Honor,
being followed,
procedural.
not on the merits. Because I'm just raising the issue whether or not this is a proper, equitable investigation.
But as of now, Your Honor, I would not comment whether or not Mr. Solano would immediately be released. But then...
I'm not saying that he should be released. What I'm just saying is you admit that he was not arrested, that he surrendered.
We would confirm that, Your Honor,
Yes,
that he
if
was not arrested.
If he was not arrested and surrendered, is an inquest investigation proper?
If I may comment on that, Your
Please,
Honor, that would not be proper.
Not proper. So there, we already have a problem.
That is precisely, Your Honor, why we will resolve the case immediately, probably tomorrow. And we will be dealing with the procedural aspect regarding this.
One of the shortcomings of our criminal justice system is that we followed. That's why pawalan ng visa yung mga sampa ng demanda kasi mali-mali yung pinafile. Now, here in this particular case, you admit that this is not a proper because voluntarily surrendered.
Yes, Your Honor. There is an affidavit.
Now, given this, Attorney Paterno, given what you heard from the, what's your name again? Acting Prosecutor General Catalan, can you now allow the committee access to the affidavit that you're about to submit?
As I want to present the affidavit, I have to be candid, Your Honor. I have not yet read the very voluminous complaint that was submitted this morning. Because from DOJ, I waited here. I waited around to send this.
Who made the complaint? Who filed the complaint?
As I see it, there is a complaint prepared by the MPD, Your Honor, and there is also another set of voluminous document supposed to be supplemental complaint affidavit of the spouses Castillo. I have not yet read, Your Honor, all those papers.
We are in this situation where apparently there is something that can be argued against a proceeding, and therefore the matter of counsel have to be submitted if a preliminary investigation is conducted. Is that correct? Huh?
Thank you, Your Honor. And if I may add, Your Honor, private complainants also make the bidding, but for further. So we will set up the date probably for the preliminary investigation. Respondent would be required to file his counter. I was that judging. It has yet to be resolved, but then, Your Honor, resolution
forthcoming.
What I've been
will be forthcoming as you have mentioned,
yes, Your
as a
Honor.
legal issue, as a legal
Yes, Your Honor.
solution. Now, let me, Mr. Horacio Castillo, I hear your plea, sir. Please strengthen the Indeed, all due respect to my good friend, Mr. I think there is really need to examine Republic Act 8049. And particularly because, as Senator said earlier, the title says regulating hazing. Section 2, in fact, in my reading of the law, with all due respect, allows hazing, except that you have to submit a written notice. Very clear. It says, no hazing or initiation rights in any form or manner by any fraternity, sorority shall be allowed without prior written notice to the school authorities or head organization 7 days before the conduct such. This can be interpreted as submitting a written notice by the fraternity 7 days before and conduct the initiation. Now, hazing that happens there is punishable because it is an act of death, etc. But the initiation itself will be allowed if nothing happens. But I think the one way to do this is to find out, as suggested by Senator Su, whether we it outright, altogether, initiations, which includes hazing. And it is in that case that we'll focus attention, aid of legislation, given all this testimony that we have heard. And I think it's unfortunate that it has death of Pacho has made it necessary for us. We had hoped that it would happen. But nandyan na po yan, ating, sabi nga kanina ni Ana po, we'll have to strengthen so that this will not be, so that there will be fear in the hearts. Ako, aaminin ko, kami ni Senator Go, kami po na haze. We were subject of it. But we are willing to admit it because it's more than 50 years ago. So it has prescribed. Hindi na po pwedeng sampahan yung aming mga pati si, ha? But having said that, all right, I will put Nilo here, Dean Divina, in a very difficult position. If you had an opportunity to amend Public Act 8049 as a member of active being steeped in, what would you suggest should the amendment be?
Mr. Chairman, I agree that it should be banned completely. There are many ways of determining the resolve of a neophyte to join the fraternity without being subjected to hazing.
So in your view,
it should be completely and totally prohibited or banned, Mr. Chairman.
Hazing or initiation?
Hazing as defined by law, Mr. Chairman. It's currently defined by law. But initiation that does not cause psychological harm or injury or physical injury to the neophyte should be allowed because there are many ways of determining the resolve of a neophyte to join the fraternity.
So you're saying allow initiation but not hazing? Allow
initiation but without subjecting the neophyte to psychological, physical harm or injury, Mr. Chairman.
Get to that dangerous slope. Enforcement of that rule becomes questionable in mind. And like you, Dean, Senator, we all went through this in our younger days. And we know what happens during initiation rites, during the rites when you go through hazing. It is a slippery slope the moment you allow initiation that could lead precisely incidents, unfortunate incidents such as this. May I have your views again, Mr. Dean?
I was thinking, Mr. Chairman, the neophyte undergoing a series of quote-unquote indoctrination classes or sessions on loyalty, on brotherhood, on integrity, She can be part of initiation rites, but without being subjected to, as I said, psychological harm or causing physical injury.
One final attempt on no. Can you not entrust to Senator Lacson the affidavit that you are supposed to submit? Since in so many, practically the justice client allowed to submit the counter affidavit an ordinary preliminary investigation and not inquest, which means that you're given every opportunity to submit this counter affidavit.
As much as I want to have filed, as I said, cases, robbery, I have heard. Actually, can be a MP. Our agreement, Your Honor, is we are supposed to file that sworn statement, show good faith, although we have not yet seen the complaint. Okay? I already decided, and Popoy knows it, we are going to submit the complaint on or before the sworn statement of Popoy on or before 11 a.m. yesterday. On or before. That's my undertaking, the MPD. And because of that discovery, that they are going to file murder in other case, at 9 p.m. I sent 2 letters to MPD, one at 7 p.m. of Saturday and another at 9 p.m. was personally received there by Captain charge of the homicide, telling them that because of that discovery that they are going to file murder, I am now withdrawing my undertaking to them to submit that sworn statement on the following 11 a.m. And I also got the same letter. I informed them that I am revoking, Mr. Solano is revoking the waiver of detention that he said. And we are requesting for twice in that letter. He repeated that we are requesting that he should not be subjected to inquest. There must be a preliminary investigation.
You know, the reason why I keep on doing this, I relied on your earlier statement that you would tell the whole and reveal all the names. Your client, Mr. Solano, will reveal all the names. And this can bring faster justice to Castillo and his wife. Mas mabilis po ilabas natin ang mga pangalan nitong kasama na nangyari. Sinabi niyo po na you will tell all. And this will be contained in counter affidavit that you file until there was a charge and was proceeding case. And I've heard Prosecutor General saying in so many words na medyo hindi tama yung inquest procedure. And it will be a regular preliminary. In a regular preliminary investigation, submitting this affidavit contains all the names. As you said, you want to tell the truth.
Gently, time is up, but the chair is willing to give you extra 2 minutes. Point, of course, with the permission of Senator Rivera. Go ahead.
Yes. Yun lang because we can serve the wheels of justice faster if we have a sworn statement coming from a very vital witness, Mr. Solano, that ito po, sila po ang sabi dito. And so the appropriate proceedings, preliminary investigation, conducted, and the case can be filed in court. I'm sure a probable established immediately, and the truth and justice can be served faster if the counter affidavit. May we have again the view? We are making this appeal.
As I said earlier, Your Honor, I have yet read the voluminous. As I want to accede the request, Your Honor. I do not know what is the what are those allegations, the draft that we have already.
And if the committee will grant your client legislative immunity, meaning that anything that he testifies cannot be used, still you are not willing to
Your Honor, to read because robbery and obstruction of
not force you. That's suggesting because after ferreting out the truth, ano, lang naman ang gusto ng committee in aid of legislation, but really insist not submitting.
promise you, once I read it, legal implication that
There is no legal implication because to grant your client legislative immunity, meaning anything that he says in the affidavit submitted to the committee cannot be against him. Just between your client and the committee. Para lang makita namin yung nilalaman at makita namin yung totoo. Para makapagawa kami ng tamang legislation to end RA 9. Senator Rizan Taveros is required.
Salamat, Mr. Chairman. Ang gabi po. Kailan po ba nagsimula ang haze sa EGC?
I really wouldn't know, Miss Mother.
Sabi niyo po kanina, 1979 itinatag yung sa institutional memory niyo, sa sarili niyong rat, kailan niyo unang alam o nababalitaan na hinihaze ang mga neophytes?
When I joined the fraternity, Mr. Chairman, I was also subjected to hazing.
Yun nga yung isang susunod na itatanong ko sa noon pong sumali kayo nung 1986. Kayo. Kailan nga ulit pinasa yung anti-hazing law? That was
1995.
95. So pagkatapos na po na mapi kayo sa fraternity, pagkatapos na haze din kayo. Narration. Anong measures ang pinatupad ninyo sa loob ng fraternity para magsiguro ng compliance sa batas? May nagbago ba sa kalakalan sa EG?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. After 2 years, I became a member of the Concilium, is the governing body of the fraternity, and I was able to convince the officers to remove hazing. I was able to convince, for example, to remove paddle as part of the initiation rites. I said, let's concentrate on determining the resolve of the neophyte through other means. For example, in my time, we required them to prepare case digests, and during initiation rite, instead of subjecting them to physical injury, we'd ask them, for example, to memorize the preamble, quote the preamble, the Bill of Rights. If they make a mistake, one push-up. But we completely removed paddling during when I became a member of the Concilium, Mr. Chairman.
So naging member po kayo ng Concilium
2 years after
2 years
I joined the fraternity.
88.
That's
And
right.
then nag-initiate kayo ng ganitong mga
Changes, Mr. Chairman.
changes to ensure compliance, pagbabago ng kalakaran.
Even at that time, there was no anti-hazing law. I am anti-violence, so I proposed those measures, and good thing I was able to convince the officers of the Concilium to effect significant changes the manner they conduct the initiation.
So kailan po at paano nagsimula ulit yung hazing? Sa kabila nitong
I wouldn't know anymore, Mr. Chairman, because I stopped attending initiation rites after I reached fourth year in law school. It's 1989.
Sabi niyo rin po kanina din na banned ang hazing sa US. Ibig niyo pong sabihin bilang university policy
University and Faculty of Civil Law Policy. Your
and
Honor.
faculty of... And yet, sabi ni Mr. Solano, haze siya. Actually, at yun. Kung sabihin, may kahinaan sa policy.
One incident, Your Honor, doesn't mean weakness of the policy. There is a policy, and we said if there is a violation, sanctions will be imposed, have been imposed, will be imposed. I think one isolated incident should not be construed to mean weakness of the policy.
Ito po ay one known violation. Pero sabi niyo rin kanina in response dun sa pangkasamang senador that a year or 2 years ago, merong pong frat rumble involving Aegis Juris at isa pang UST law fraternity. Di po ba yan isang halimbawa din ng kahinaan sa policy enforcement?
That's not hazing po, ma'am. Again, sanctions were imposed on the responsible members of the fraternities.
Salamat din,
Senator
Divina.
Rizal.
Yes, Chairman.
Sorry, but I'm tempted to show again the visual na nakita ko sa statement. Kasi kung pinagbawal niyo yung paddling, kasi paddle nga yung symbol ninyo, nakasulat, ages. Kung natin yun, nasa gitna, mukhang katabi nyo. Kayo po ba yun, Attorney Pabella?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung may hawak na paddle?
Yes, Your Honor. That's one of the commemorative item in one of our anniversaries.
So why would you use a paddle as a commemorative item?
Your Honor, we have not experienced that in my batch. That is after, that's between 2000 and 2004. So
Isn't this encouraging the use of paddle?
but we are not using that, Your Honor. So it's
Why
just
use paddle?
as the traditional symbol of fraternity, Your Honor. That's why that is just used. We have a lot of symbols, Your Honor, for
So
the
sana
fraternity.
yun na lang ibang symbol. Paddle. Ay sabi nga ni din, prohibit niya yung paddling. Paddle naman. So how would you reconcile kanyang kagustuhan na mag-prohibit ng paddling? Paddle naman yung hawak-hawak ninyo.
Yes, Your Honor. If I remember correctly, Your Honor, this happened also after.
May pinapalo pa sa batok. So,
That's also symbolic, Your Honor.
symbolic nga eh.
Yes.
What do you mean by symbolic?
Again, Your Honor, because we did not experience that in our batch, so we don't.
So you were wishing at the time
No, Your Honor.
that you would have been paddled.
No, Your Honor. That's what I.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Chairman. And I would agree with the Chairman, simbolo, hindi simbolo lang eh. Symbols are very, very powerful sa anumang kultura to shape or to change our belief. Mula po kay Dean Divina, Mr. Solano, fast forward 3 decades since 19. Kayo po, anong taon kayo uli sumali sa Aegis Juris?
2015.
Almost 30. Kayo ba dumaan din sa hazing? Sabi nyo kanina, oo.
You would consider being if you would consider like mentally ginugulo as a hazing, yes, because we consider that one as
Sir
hazing.
Solano,
Mentally tortured?
alam natin pare-pareho. Sabi mo.
Pinalo ba kayo, Mr. Solano?
Yes, Your Honor.
Di ba hazing? Pinatakan po ba kayo ng na wax ng...
Not that I can remember.
So bukod po sa pinalo kayo, at anong ginamit sa pagpalo sa inyo? Paddle ba?
That I cannot recall, Your Honor.
dahil nakatingin kayo sa sahig.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero anong pakiramdam? Kamao ba o paddle? Laman ba o
seems
kahoy?
flat, Your Honor. Seems flat.
Ano po?
It's like flat.
Flat.
I cannot
So,
confirm if it's
parang
wood
paddle.
or yes.
Kasi ganyan lang, parang sampal lang yan, hindi naman palo. No? Ano pa ang ginawa sa inyo nung inaze kayo?
Okay, it started like mental torture and tapping, Your Honor.
So bate po sa karanasan ninyo, Mr. Solano, karaniwang karanasan po ito ng mga neophytes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Karaniwang pong ginagawa sa mga neophytes. Kanina po sabi ninyo, wala kayo nung hazing kay Atyo, pero doon, naging bahagi ba kayo sa ibang mga hazing, ibang mga...
No, Your Honor, I disapprove the process here.
3 hours ago po, at nag-refer na rin dito si Ken Frank Drilon kanina. Pero 3 hours ago, sa isang news article, nanumpa kayo to tell all. So bakit po maya't maya kanina in the past few the right to remain silent?
Because,
bakit hindi pa kayo...
Your Honor, because I was supposed to tell all, like everything. But since we discovered that I was filed charges, multiple charges, I think I should invoke my right to be silent, Your Honor.
So kailan pa kayo magte-tell all?
After we sent a counter affidavit on the preliminary investigation.
So maasahan po ba, hindi lang ng komite namin, pero ng pamilya ni Atyo na dun sa affidavit ninyo, will finally tell all with hope?
Yes, Your Honor, with no holds bar po.
Barred. Sabi nyo kanina, hindi nyo ma-confirm kayo nga yung popoy dun sa message na pinakita ni Chairman kanina. Bagamat tinawag na rin kayong ganyang palayaw. At si Popoy ay may message mismo na yung applicable or detention, ba? Hindi ako mag-deactivate. Iwan ako di hospital. Ikaw po ba yung nag-type niyan?
Your Honor, I cannot confirm on that.
Pero isa lang dun sa nakasakay sa dalawang sasakyang nasa harap ninyo, ang tinulungan kayo, ibaba si Atyo dun sa ER. Kayong dalawa lang yung nakita sa CCTV na nakita ni na Sir Jigs Coronel. Pero kayo lang yung nakilala dun sa ER kasi mukhang kayo lang yung... Kayo ba yung nag-type niyang naiwan ako di hospital?
Your Honor, with all due respect po, I should invoke my right to remain.
Ano naman po yung 3-hour detention rule na nandun sa text na iyon?
Your Honor, with all due respect, I should try again.
Lastly, ano pong nangyari sa ospital? Since sinabi nyo naman, nandun kayo, nakita kayo sa CCTV ng ER, ano na ang nangyari nung dinala nyo doon si Atyo?
The first time we arrived at the hospital, Your Honor, we parked at the parking lot. So I asked the frat member on the Fortune if what to do. He told me to bring the Acho to the emergency room. I asked them why me. I don't have any involvement on this. He still insisted that I should. So that time, we don't have any more time to pass the to who. So I did bring like Acho to the in front of the emergency room. So I did what I have to do to bring the body to the emergency room.
Bakit sa simulang-simula iba yung kwento nyo? Sa ngayong gabi naman, sabi nyo ang totoo.
It's because they were the ones who told me that time, tell that lie.
So collective decision nyo ng misleading statements nyo, ng cover-up ninyo.
Your Honor, I cannot confirm if it's a collective knowledge of the fraternity.
Sino nag-utos sa inyo?
Your Honor, with all due respect, it's a frat member. It's in my affidavit.
Ngayon po, Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang mga magulang natyo. And particularly, fell plastic. So ito pong sabi ni Dean na hindi nila naranasan nung sila ay mapi sa frat. Pero 30 years later, sa kabila ng mga pagbabago, ay naranasan ulit. Mr. Solano, ganito pong mga ng hazing, alam niyo po ba kung alam ni Atyo na maaring nangyari sa kung sinabi ba kaya na ang maaring sa ng klase ng initiation?
Honor, what he was told me that it was academic. If ever there was, just asked to do some errands. But no.
I'm really chairman na yung pangako ng no more hazing, pandemic. Ibang-iba po talaga ang sinapit. My last question, Mr. Chairman, kay Sir Jigs Coronel. Doon po sa police reports, hematoma ang ikinatay ni Atyo. Merong pang observation na may mga patak ng na wax ng kanila. Pero particularly po yung hematoma, saan po maaring manggaling iyo? Klaseng makakadulot ng ganyang klaseng injury.
Ma'am, can I refer this question to our medical legal officer?
Yes, please.
Was better position.
Good evening, Your Honor. I'm Police Chief Inspector Meselin Lagros Ripa Probador, sir.
Please on the oath.
Yeah, I know, sir.
Sec, please, please stand up. Take your name and position.
Chief Inspector.
Solemnly swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ma'am, ano pong klaseng gawain ang makadudulot sa isang tao ng hematoma tulad ng naobserbahan ninyo sa katawan?
Honor, yung repetitive po na pagpalo, nagkukos po yun ng pasa.
Kamao ba ang ginamit sa ganyang klaseng injury or pang instrument?
Possible po, Your Honor.
Possible na instrument?
Yes, Your Honor.
Possible na paddle? Isang katulad ng
Yes, Your Honor.
Very much, Mr. Chair. Nung Solano, nais ko lang ulit. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. I think, Chair, I will now. First of all, allow me to express our deepest condolences, parents. Know your pain, and we will try to assuage it by coming out with a better law, stronger law that eliminates hazing. Certainly true. Let me ask the authorities from UST. Is anybody speaking here for UST? Maria Socorro, Guanhing. Guanhing. When did the authorities in UP find out that there was a death caused by an initiation?
Monday morning, Honor. It's
Monday-
September 18.
Monday morning. And how did you find out? How did the authorities find out?
Through what I heard from the TV news.
That
Around
issue,
5:30.
that issue personally, were there any other authorities in the university about the death?
Uh,
I understand somebody knew about it Sunday.
That I do not have a personal knowledge, Your Honor. But as far as I am concerned,
Dean Devina knew about it?
Well, it was reported to me by the faculty secretary that he got unconfirmed reports about the death of a neophyte, Mr. Chairman.
What time was that and what day?
Sunday, on 12 p.m. And then
Midnight Sunday?
12 p.m.
Oh,
Your Honor.
12 p.m., sorry.
And then I asked him to,
noon time.
after mass, about 12:15 p.m., Mr. Chairman, then I asked the secretary to confirm further, get more information. Then around 6 p.m., he said that a neophyte indeed died, Mr.
And were you aware that he was a member of your fraternity?
It was part of the report that he's a member of the fraternity. The surname was given, Castillo, but not the complete
He
name.
was not a member. He was still a neophyte, right?
But at least a neophyte of the fraternity. And then I asked the secretary to get the full name, first thing Monday morning, the address so that we can talk to the parents.
Why did you have to wait, sir, until first hour Monday morning? Don't you think that the parents had the right to know right away?
But Mr. Chairman, we only know the surname but not the complete name. And records are in the office. Sunday offices are closed, Mr. Chairman.
But couldn't you have asked your buds, being a solitary member of one of the leading lights of the fraternity, have asked your buds, conducted the initiation and a certain Del Castillo died, may namatay. Couldn't you have asked them?
But at that time, Mr. Chairman, it was all unconfirmed. So I asked for further information, further details.
I don't need to argue with you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
I would, in your stature, try to find out, confirm from your brad, sino yung namatay? Nag-initiation ba kayo? May namatay ba? Sino yung namatay? May Castillo namatay. Sino yun? Dapat tinanong natin yun?
Well, as I said, I relied on the report of the secretary to get the full name, Mr. Chairman.
At that time, you just
That's about 6 p.m., Mr. Chairman. And then the following morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, it's all over the papers. And as I said, I called the council right away and asked the head of our, let's call it Social Welfare Development Board, to conduct an investigation.
Well, for the sake of the parents who have made a difference, naman natin nung kagad at pagad nyo ng kagad yung mga sa inyo, dihan naman yung mga
I was able to talk to a relative, a former student, and I said,
was that?
I think early Monday morning.
I would say it was an oversight on your part.
I think I did what I
You
was
knew
expected.
Sunday at 6 o'clock, alam nyo Sunday 6 o'clock, may Castillo na namatay. At kung tawagan nyo lang siguro, dapat nasabi sa inyo ng mga judge na nga, being a solitary member of the fraternity and certainly a leading lawyer in this country, you would have done the right thing, which is to call authorities in UST, lawyer na pwedeng mademanda ang UST dahil alam nyo na, at tawagan nyo na rin, hindi po ba dapat ganun?
I think, Mr. Chairman, I said we needed to get the complete name and the address because I really want to talk to the parents of Acho right away. Obviously, it cannot be done unless I know the complete name and the address, Mr. Chairman.
I will take your word for it. I would have done different. And I are two different. That doesn't have to be said. Having said that, I will go to John. John, is it? John Solano and your
Yes, Your Honor.
Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're 27 years old. You're a member of the fraternity, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were, what is your batch?
It's 2015 batch.
Lagi mo sinasabi, inutusan ka lang ka magsalita. Dahil ba ikaw ay junior Brad? Kaya ka sumusunod,
Your
junior
Honor,
Brad.
Your Honor, I cannot confirm on that because my nature of I'm an impulsive guy.
I don't care if you're an impulsive guy. I'm looking into your soul. Because the fraternity has a tendency to drag a weak soul. Pakinggan mo yung sinasabi ko, kung mahina ang iyong sentido, ang iyong kaluluwa, sunod-sunuran ka, kaladkarin ka, susunod ka sa mga senior sa iyo sa fraternity. Tama?
Your Honor, since a child, I'm very helpful towards others, so maybe that time my
I'm glad you
helpfulness
said
would
that. You're very helpful.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
And did you think bringing him to the hospital that is far away in Chinese General was helpful rather than bring him to UST? Did you think na nakakatulong ka sa kapwa mo? Bata ka pa kamo, matulungin ka na?
Your
Dapat
Honor,
dinala mo dapat doon sa malapit na hospital? Di ba yun ang talagang dapat na tulong na binigay mo?
Your
Yes or
Honor,
no?
so if it's yes or no, it's a no, Your Honor.
No. So you were not helpful.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were not being helpful. You were just blindly following.
Yes, Your Honor.
Blindly following your elders in the fraternity, your seniors, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Well, you already have practically discarded your right to against self-incrimination because you incriminated yourself already.
No, Your Honor.
Well, that is the argument of your lawyer. But as far as a fellow lawyer, I would say it was your duty to your Brad to save his life. Inutusan ka na dalhin sa ospital. Ikaw ay medical technologist. Meron ka kahit na papanong some understanding kung merong damage ang katawan ng tao. Tama po ba yan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kung alalaman mo na bugbog sarado yung tao at alam mo, mas malapit yung UST practically across the street from Dapitan, huwag kang tumingin sa abogado mo. Pakinggan mo yung tanong ko.
Ay, sorry, Your Honor.
Ikaw malapit ka sa UST, dadalhin mo sa malayo. Gaano kalayo ang Chinese General? Kahit na linggo, may traffic.
I'm not sure about the distance, Your Honor.
So try to find out. I think you look smart enough. Don't pretend here. You're a graduate of one of the oldest institutions in the world. In the world! And I respect it. I'm a Dominican student myself, only San Juan de Letran. Kami ni Senator Soto. Gaano kalayo?
It's more or less 20 to 30 minutes travel, Your Honor.
20 to 30 minutes, assuming you're correct. Gaano kalayo ang UST hospital doon sa pinangyarihan? 5 minutes?
Depending on the traffic on Lacson Avenue,
Now you
Your
talk
Honor.
about traffic. Okay.
It's definitely shorter, Your Honor.
Shorter. Okay, mga 5 minutes.
More or less 5 to 10 minutes, Your Honor.
And as you know, being a medtech, alam mo, bibilang ka ng segundo. Dapat gagawa mo na siguro ng kahit na paano ng CPR.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ginawa mo ba ng CPR?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kailan mo napuntahan yung tao? Tao yung kinuha mo di ba? Tao.
Your Honor,
May pangalan.
the one who called me told me to go to the frat library. That's when I administered CPR.
May I ask the medical legal, can you estimate the time of death of Horacio?
Your Honor, I cannot estimate the time of death because when I examined the victim, he was already embalmed, Your Honor.
He was embalmed right away.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was that by order of the family?
No, Your Honor.
Had he been bombed then?
The funeral parlor, Your Honor.
Sino nagdala sa kanya sa funeral parlor? Alam na ba ng pamilya by that time?
Your Honor, if I...
Yes, John. You're a
at the time
graduate of the UP College of Law, aren't you?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're not a member of the fraternity.
I'm a member of a fraternity,
Which one? Alpha Sigma?
the Alpha Phi Beta fraternity.
Alpha Phi Beta?
Yes,
Yes, all right.
Yes, Your Honor.
I will not ask you whether you underwent initiation.
Yes, Your Honor. At the time that the remains of Asho Castillo was brought to the Archangel funeral parlor, he was still unidentified, Your Honor. The Chinese General Hospital at the time has no idea as to the identity of the remains. So, as a matter of their procedure, they referred it to the funeral parlor.
So when
where
they
it was
referred them, would you think that the funeral parlor had the right to embalm them knowing that he could be a victim of foul play, violence, para malaman ang time of death? Tatawag ka lang na medical legal, malalaman mo anong kinain ng pasyente, ilang kinain, anong nangyari, anong oras. Diba? Alam mo yun because you're UP.
Yes, Your Honor.
Diba?
Yes, Your Honor. I think we'll have to investigate.
So nagkamali yung nag-imbalsama.
Or they may have been a lapse on that particular regard, Your Honor.
No, they made a mistake.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's fatal.
As to the, yes, sir, it will have affected the post-mortem or autopsy
Going
examination.
back to John, the helpful man. Ang lapit-lapit ng ospital, takbo mo sa Chinese General. Alam mo kaya sinabi ko you have already incriminated yourself because sumama ka na sa isang conspiracy na ilayo sa UST para hindi kayo mabisto ng mga otoridad. Pwede ko ba sabihin yun?
Your Honor, with all due respect, I invoke my right to remain.
No more. You've already incriminated yourself. You have no more right on that point. You have to answer now.
Your Honor, with all due respect, I
No,
would.
you're not respecting this committee. You followed. Who did you follow?
Your Honor, with that particular
You already
name,
said, yung mga kasama mo,
it's
you
a
followed
frat
them.
member. Yeah.
In fact, kinuha mo, 2 auto, kasama ka, isang Prado na pula.
Strada, Your Honor. Mitsubishi Strada.
Sorry, hindi ako marunong sa kotse. 1965 pa yung alam kong kotse. Strada, at saka Fortuner. Alam ko yung Fortuner. Black Fortuner, correct?
It's a black Fortuner po.
So, alam mo kung sino yung mga kasama mo doon sa loob, right?
Yung nasa loob po ng sasakyan, Your Honor.
Sapagkat nakita, Joel, nakita, General, nakita yung mga tao sa loob ng Fortuner, di ba?
Yes, sir. The people
Nakilala
there
na
were-
yan, di ba?
Yeah.
Alright. So, they are already participants in a murder.
At the time of which it was reported to us, yes, it was treated a
Now,
murder
would you
case.
say, as a seasoned policeman, galing kang police, kaya ka naging general kahit na batang-bata ka, hindi lang dahil nag-aaral ka sa UP. Ikaw ay dinala yung tao sa hospital na malayo, nilayo sa UST. Ano ang rason kung bakit nila ilalayo malapit sa UST? Para pagtakpan ang nangyaring pagkamatay ng isang tao pagkabugbog. Hindi pa natin alam kung patay na talaga yun.
Yes, sir. Apparently, there was foul play in the death of the victim.
At
when-
because sinabi pa, nakita sa balot, tondo, another sign na tinatago nila. Tama o hindi?
Yes, you're correct, Your Honor.
So lahat yan, indication ng murder. Anong ginawa ng 2 auto nung dinala doon? Sumibat na sila pagkatapos.
After the body of the victim was brought to the Chinese General Hospital premises, they left the vicinity. And then John Paul Solano was the one was left behind to face...
Ayoko mang-insulto ng fraternity because ako fratman rin ako. Paano ako sa initiation. Pero hindi ko naman pinagbili yung kaluluwa ko. Na kahit na may senior magsasabi sa akin mali, hindi ko basta susundin yun. Because I will recite to you our credo. I'm an Epsilonian and proud of it. I consider myself an upright, self-respecting man capable of growth and greater service to my fellow man. Marami yan, yung mga values. So, may karapatan ang fratman magsabi, hindi ko susundin yan. Just as a policeman has the right to say, no, I'm not going to kill anybody because I'm being ordered so that I can add to the numbers. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you will not do that either, would you?
No, I will not do that, Your Honor.
In spite of the many accusations na ginagawa niya yan. You would not do that.
We have not done anything of that sort, Your
You have
Honor.
not done anything of that sort. Believe you, so far. Far. Now, let me point it out. So far as your experience as an investigator is concerned, or for that matter, you graduated from the Philippine Military Academy, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And under the law, a soldier, a marine, trainee, officer, or a soldier in the military, they're exempted from this provision of law, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why do you think that is so?
Perhaps of the very nature of their profession, which is a profession of arms, wherein their lives are at stake at this particular, at any given time that they might be able to, in instances of
They
war.
could be tortured.
Yes, Your Honor.
They must survive pressure.
Yes, Your Honor.
They must stick to their ground, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
But in a fraternity, you don't have to waive your right against self-incrimination when the principle of the fraternity that you choose says that you must be truthful. Is that being taught in your fraternity? Dean?
We're taught the virtue of integrity, godliness,
Godliness. God tells us to be truthful, correct?
That's right, Mr.
What
Chairman.
else do they teach you in the fraternity?
But godliness, integrity, academic excellence, loyalty, Chairman.
Correct, loyalty. Loyalty to principle. Government of laws and not of men. Because you are all budding lawyers, correct?
That's right, Mr. Chairman.
And in your opinion, was this act of this young man here heroic, helpful? In your opinion now, let me ask you. Heroic ba yun? Helpful ba yun?
Well,
Na malapit sa UST, malayong hospital?
well, we could look into the mind of the neophyte.
I
Mr.
know
Chairman.
that, but I'm just asking for your opinion. You're a dean. You're a maker of men. Train future leaders of the country. In one of the best law schools in the UP, President Diosdado Macapagal got 100% in civil law because he's a graduate of the University of the Philippines. Now I ask you, tama ba yan? Santo Tomas, ano sinabi ko? Sorry, force of habit. Sorry.
But I also teach in UP, Mr. Chairman, so that's okay.
Okay, all right. So, tama ba yan?
Well, I do not know what's into the mind of Mr. Saran at that time, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, we understand each other, don't we? But as a father, as a teacher, tama ba yan?
But I would go for the speedier
You go
route.
for UST. You go for UST, right? Any time of the day.
I would have gone for UST, Mr. Chairman, yes.
That's correct. You see, young man, there is your senior Brad. Maybe you should have gone to UST. Stop following your senior Brads na ipinapahamak ka, dinadala ka sa slippery slope, na pagsisinungalingan ka, teach you to lie, where the fraternity teaches you not to lie. Is that correct, Dean?
We teach integrity and loyalty, Mr. Chairman, therefore truthfulness likewise.
Integrity, loyalty, truthfulness. Sabi ng totoo, may dangal ka. Naintindihan mo yan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Meron ka bang integrity ngayon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, ano ngayon ang masasabi mo? Tinatanong ko kanina. Sumunod ka dahil tanda sa iyo yung masasabi sa iyo, correct?
I would invoke my right with...
Well, I would invoke you to hell if I can. Because napakasama ng ginawa ninyo. Walang fraternity person dito, including the Philippine Military Academy, which is not a fraternity, a corps of cadets, or for that matter, UP fraternity, even a UST fraternity, as a beda fraternity, they will not teach you. Because dapat mataas ang values niyan. Pag sumama ang bata, isang fraternity, natutulungan siya magsinungaling. May anak ka na ba?
Wala pa po, Your
Pag
Honor.
nagkaroon ka ng anak, if you are successful and if you are, God blesses you, you tell him to join a fraternity, which will teach him to lie?
No, Your Honor.
Good. You've answered my question. But you're still invoking your right against self-incrimination. You still want to protect people in the fraternity that has killed a future Brad. Correct?
No, Your Honor, I am not protected.
And they have not killed your future Brad, a neophyte.
Your Honor, with all due respect po.
Don't you think that this hurts your fraternity? Wala na sasali. Assuming you survive this, may sasali pa kaya sa fraternity nyo ngayon? Nasira-sira na yung prinsipyo?
Your Honor, I cannot confirm that one.
Of course you cannot. Because it seems you have lost your moral compass. Fraternities don't teach the members to lose their moral compass. Is it not correct, Dean? Please answer yes or no.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I agree completely.
Dean Kapili, is that true?
I'm irregular. Yes, Your Honor.
You're a member of the fraternity, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you will swear by any stack of Bibles that your fraternity does not teach your students to lie,
Yes, Your Honor.
your brads to lie,
Yes.
that they will save the life of a neophyte.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is all I have to ask, Your Honor.
Second round, Senator.
Just a simple question, Your Honor. Kay Mr. Solano, maybe with the help of attorney, that Paterno, no? Attorney is Ismael. May alam mo yung kliyente ninyo, alam mo niya yung mga tao na involved po dito. You're the lawyer here, no? Bakit pang kailangan hintayin yung... Bakit bang kailangan hintayin bukas or in the next few days? Bakit di na lang niya masabi? Anyway, he's already said that. Will it really affect his situation kung ibigay po niya yung mga pangalan ng mga tao?
Yes, Your Honor, because we have yet to...
No, he doesn't have to say kung anong ginawa niya. Sasabihin lang niya, ito yung mga taong kasama ko. I don't understand and please explain to me how that affects his cases and his situation. Will it matter kung may kwento niya yung mga taong nakita niya?
Definitely it will affect because we have to...
No, alam naman nating na may kasama siya. Nasabi na niya may kasama siya, may CCTV. Obviously, those vehicles didn't drive themselves. No? So may kasama siyang binuhat yung katawan ni Acho. He's concerned for his case and that's your right. No? You have that right to be concerned for your case. Ang hindi ko maintindihan, attorney, is bakit ayaw niyo lang isulat sa papel para mahabol na po ng pulis natin yung mga taong ito. How will it affect his case if he tells us tonight and gives it to the police right now?
I will be a bit... I will do that without first studying.
No, it's not. My question is, does it make him less guilty or more guilty if he just says who the people were? We already know na may kasama siya. Alam na ho natin, it's a fact already. Nahuli na po yan ng CCTV. Now, I'm trying to understand, does it make him less guilty or more guilty? Maybe, Dean, can you help me out here? Does it, and I'm happy to be wrong. Does it make him more guilty or less guilty with the cases filed against him kung may bigay niya yung mga pangalan ng mga kasama niya? Does it matter at this point? More or less, alam naman nating nandun siya. CCTV, inamin na niya as much. How does the case differ? How will it differ if he withholds the names of the people he was with or he gives it up tonight?
Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, I think he has
And please be fair lang. Please be fair to Mr. Solano.
But he has a counsel, Mr. Chairman, so I defer to the... I have to give it to the counsel of Mr. Solano. I think it's unethical for me to give advice to someone when he's represented by a counsel.
Hypothetically,
I think it may be a circumvention, Mr. Chairman. I think it's unethical for me to give legal advice to someone who has a counsel.
all right. Sige nga, Mr. Attorney Ismael, could you help us? I understand, no, it's your right. You can, of course, choose to provide it in the judicial affidavit. We cannot force you. But is the guilt or innocence of your client affected by providing the names of the individuals na kasama po niya sa hospital right now? Is it affected?
Really depends on the facts of the... Your Honor, I want to
Okay, ako ho, I'm sorry kayo ho dito yung mga abogado. I don't know if any other legal, we're surrounded by legal luminaries here. Baka ho merong, yes, from the DOJ. Will it really affect the innocence or guilt of Mr. Solano kung ibigay ho niya yung mga pangalan?
Your Honor, just for clarity, there is constant assertion charges filed by the complainant can file as many charges on to prosecutor determines in the what specific offense to be and as to whether or not probable cause offense.
Excuse me, Prosecutor General. You filed the case yet?
Not yet, Your Honor. We will be resolving the case.
So there's nothing.
So there is nothing yet.
There's nothing to increase. Not an accused.
It's
An
not
accused
yet.
already.
Not yet.
Solved na?
Yes, Your Honor, because
walang due
this
process
is
yata
summary in nature and not a regular PI. I mentioned earlier, Your Honor, we will go into the regular PI preliminary investigation wherein the respondent will be given this opportunity to file his counter affidavit answer. After that, Your Honor, we will resolve the case. And as I mentioned earlier, we will determine as to what offense or offenses to be filed. If there is probable cause, we will file the case in court, Your Honor, and prepare the requisite information.
And excuse me, I'm not a lawyer, no, pero experience ko sa law enforcement. First, kanina, I wanted to make a comment sana do sa sinabi ni Senator Dre. Right lawyer, I'm not. Yung hindi proper for inquest, reason, kasi hindi applicable na yung warrantless arrest. Not by virtue having surrendered, because ang understanding ko, when he surrendered to my office and I turned him over to the MPD, was placed under arrest upon turnover. But that's not the issue. Ang alam kong issue, hindi proper for inquest, and this is my view. Simply because hindi na nag-a-apply yung warrantless arrest dahil nahigpit eh. Diba? Has just been committed, actually committing, about to commit, may personal knowledge pa that he is in fact committed crime, and of course, yung escape convict. Pero mukhang pinagpo-fall doon eh.
Oh, Your Honor, in every inquest proceeding, ang una-una pong tinatanong ng inquest prosecutor ay kung mayroong affidavit of arrest or wala. Ito po sa kaso na ito, mayroon pong affidavit of arrest,
Yes,
pero
I
patungkol
understand.
po ito sa obstruction of justice at saka sa perjury. In other words,
You arrested him for another crime, obstruction of justice, not for the violation of anti-hazing law. Ba yun?
I think, sir, our intention was to include all 4 charges. It may have been an oversight or inadvertence on the part of the arresting officer in his affidavit. But during last Friday,
Yeah.
when subject Solano appeared before your office, he
Yes.
was fully aware that he is going to be placed under arrest and that we are going to bring charges against him before the office of the Prosecutor General as coordinated prior with that office.
Yeah. Kaya nga, upon turnover, you placed him under arrest.
Yes, sir.
So
Thank you,
effectively,
sir.
he is under arrest.
Yes, Your Honor.
yes, Your Honor, but if I may, sabi ko nga po kanina, ang una-una pong hinahanap ng prosecutor, arrest. Patungkol po dito sa
And who
violation ng
executed the
anti-hazing,
affidavit of arrest?
We have an affidavit of arrest.
Yung kasama mong officer noon?
Yes, sir. The officers present with me at the time when the subject
Right.
surrendered to you. During at the height of our manhunt operations,
Yeah, but
that doctrine of hot pursuit still exists at that time.
kindly educate again. Proper for inquest ba? Nagpo-fall pa ba sa citizen's arrest yung kaso,
kagaya
yung
po ng
situation nila?
nasabi ko kanina, sabi po na,
Kasi if I were still with the law enforcement, baka hindi ko pa in question.
that was
Sige. Okay. But regular filing.
Yes, Your
Meaning
Honor,
direct
we
filing.
will make a direct filing of the In other words, Your Honor, we will conduct the requisite preliminary investigation wherein the respondent will be given
So you
his
will
day in court.
determine
In
if he will
NBI.
be released for further investigation or he will be admitted in an inquest proceeding. Ganun ba? Hindi nyo pa na-determine yun.
Wala pa po at
Okay.
i-resolve pa po
Sige.
namin bukas.
Okay, okay. Very much.
Anyway, Senator Lacson, if I'm not mistaken, we will be having another hearing. And hopefully by that time, Attorney Ismael has read all of the charges, or if there are charges against his client. At that time, hopefully, soon, we will be able to find out kung sino po talaga yung mga kasama ho ninyo, Mr. Solano, nung dinala niyo po yung katawan ni Acho sa Chinese General Hospital. Hopefully, we'll be able to know by then. Because nakakabahala lang po na meron na pong isang suspect at ito po'y mula dun sa pagkakaalam ng pagmamayari ng kotse, yung anak ng may-ari ho ng kotse, wala na po dito. Is that correct, General?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, kumbaga po, habang nagtatagal tayo, habang iniimbestiga pa ng PNP po, yung mga telepono ng mga iba't ibang mga alumni, alam mo naman eh. So, we're hoping that you can provide this information as soon as you can. Just so that yung hinihingi pong hustisya ng mga Castillo ay makukuha po nila. Yung hinihingi po nila, lahat ng involved po dito, makulong. No? That's basically that correct, Mr. Castillo. Yun na po yung hinihingi po ninyo.
Yes.
And that can be supported if you can provide what you know. Mr. Solano, can you listen to me? Mr. Solano? That can be, makukuha po nila yung hustisya kung may bibigay niyo po yung impormasyon as soon as possible. At naintindihan ko po yung concern ninyo sa mga charges. Naintindihan ko po na meron kayong mga karapatan. Pero, again, no, the sooner that you're able to provide this, the sooner our PNP can find them, and the sooner the Castillos will find justice. Kaya it's already an appeal mula po dito sa aming komite. Anyway, nandito ho kayo, you voluntarily surrendered. Kung pwede po, wag nyo na pong hintayin ang bukas. Sana ho, by later or by tomorrow, maibigay nyo na po yan sa PNP para mahanap na po nila yung mga taong involved po dito. Mr. Chairman, maraming salamat.
Very quickly, Mr. Solano, did I hear you correctly?
Doon po pinapuntahan sa akin, Your Honor. Yes po, Your Honor.
Anong pangalan ng
It's the Aegis Juris Law Resource po.
center?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Alam ba kung si
No, Your Honor. Not on my knowledge.
I have here corporation. 2002 pa ito. Wala naman GIS eh. That is from Tech. Number 5. Then Arthur. Kanina si one of the ages you.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chairman. It's a foundation.
Yun yung di ba?
But
No,
I
they're incorporated.
but I do not know if it is owned by the foundation, Your Honor.
It is.
I don't think we have contributed money to buy that property.
Certificate.
Yes, we are incorporated, Mr. Chairman.
Prat Live. Ages you. Okay.
Chairman. Popoy?
John Popoy po, Your Yes, Your Honor.
See in your heart. Bigat na naman kung inutusan ka, hindi ka naman all the weight is in you. Very difficult. The longer you hide the truth, maraming pwede mangyari between now till tomorrow till next week. at hindi po makakamit ng siya ang pamilya kasi healing. Executive session. So are bounded by. Tell us the information that after this.
Yes. Yes, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. Therefore, after this committee hearing, we move to executive session, Mr. Chair. And I thank Popoy for that. Popoy, I thank you very much for your honesty. See, after the hearing, we appreciate
Just
that.
to clarify,
Yes, Your
Senator
Honor.
Subiri, invite John Paul Solano and Attorney Makel. Kayo
Yes.
lang dalawa po.
Takot ako pag nandyan pa yung prosecution, baka hindi pa nakatotohan.
I've,
So pasensya na lang, Prosecutor General, no?
Inquiry, Mr. Chair. Of course, I support Senator Zubiri call for an executive session. Pero yung malaman ho natin doon, pwede ho
That
ba nating...
will form part of record of, but we are bound by the rules of executive session.
So we cannot share that to the police?
We cannot.
Okay. So I support the executive session para mailabas na yung katotohanan at least tonight. Pero but the judicial affidavit still needs to come right away because that's the only one usable by the police. Is that correct, General Colonel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Opo. So, yes, please talk to us tonight. But yung panawagan natin to have the affidavit by tomorrow is still what the police need para mahabol nila yung mga taong involved dito.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. And just two more questions to two agencies. The Commission on Human Rights, invited them here. Attorney Gemma? Attorney Gemma Parinog? Are you from Osamin? Talagang chairman ko. Anyway, whether you're related or not does not matter. As long as you're agency, you're representing the Commission on Human Rights. Have you been placed under? I would like to know the position of rights, this particular case of hazing and the dozens of useless deaths involving students, children, young adults on hazing. Silence issue of human rights is deafening. I haven't heard a statement from the Commission. Do you have a prepared statement? Is there a statement, an official statement on human rights? These children have rights. Now, the families of these children also have rights from this type of abuse. Should I get a statement now or a answer from?
Happened before 2015. Stemming the
On this particular case of Mr. reached out to the family.
have to refer Sir, as early as September, directed our investigation.
Have you approached the family?
Honor, at the time when they were at the funeral parlor, our investigators came there late at night just to talk to the family of.
Confirmed by family?
Somebody
The investigator who came and talked to the mother of the victim
gentleman who...
Mr. Jolly Torres.
So you did visit the family?
Please speak into the mic.
Yes, Your Honor. As early as September 18, I went to the funeral homes, Arcangel, which is located at Vicente Cruz, Sampaloc, Manila. As I was approaching home, I noticed that the streets, Sobriedad or Firmeza was closed. So I presume that the families or the parents were still there, and a lot of media organizations are still covering the incident. I understand that was the time that the body of the victim was still under processing. So I had the opportunity to talk to the parents of Acho, Your Honor.
When you say talk, is that part of the investigation? Did you offer assistance? Did you offer assistance? What is the process involved in cases like this?
Sir, we would like to know whether or not human rights violations were committed and who are the duty bearers that may have been responsible for the commission of such offense, Your Honor.
Any candle wax, cigarette butt, or cigarette burns, and massive hematoma? That because torture?
Yes, sir. This is actually a form of violence, particularly the right of a person from any cruel, inhuman, and degrading, Your Honor, that would come under that violation. Also, since this resulted in the death of the victim, obviously there was arbitrary deprivation of life, violation of the Constitution and laws, as well as international laws to which the Philippines. And this is also a grave violation of the right to dignity.
Clarification lang. Kahit hindi perpetrated ng state agent and acquired jurisdiction.
Actually, sir, what made us decide to take cognizance of the case is that the victim, Your Honor, is a youth, and under our mandate, Your Honor, we also investigate violations committed against the vulnerable sectors, which includes the youth, Your Honor.
Not necessarily perpetrated by state agent.
Not necessarily,
Okay,
Your Honor.
thank you
But
for the
I would like to add, Your Honor, that we are also looking into the school being a duty bearer. We would like to further probe on whether or not there had been mechanisms established, or whether, if there is, or whether or not these mechanisms are sufficient that could have prevented this incident.
Senator Mix, may I just ask on that point? Pag sinabi niyo pong duty bearer, anong ibig sabihin ho nun?
Duty bearers are those who
Are in power.
Yes, Your Honor, or those who are institutions that have been delegated by law, in this case, the anti-hazing law, protect.
Okay, because just to follow up Senator
the rights
Lacson's
there.
question, and I know we're deviating already. Alam ko rin kasi state agents ang iimbestiga ninyo, but you're saying it's state agents and duty bearers, meaning any institution in power, if they fail or they perpetrate crimes against less powerful or more vulnerable than them, then you can investigate it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, in a way, yes, Your Honor. Those delegated by law to protect the rights.
All right. And in this case, they are
this
duty
case-
bearers because of the Anti-Hazing Act.
What would be the next step for CHR? Next course of action? The joining the PNP filing case of such?
Yes, Your Honor. Once we are done with our we're still conducting the investigation, Your Honor. And once we're done with it, we would come up with recommendations, either the filing of great criminal or administrative charges. And also, we would be coming with recommendations to the concerned agency or proper institutions such as educational institutions.
Thank you. And my last question, Mr. Chairman, would be with the Commission on Higher Education. I believe there's a CHED representative, Executive Director. Before we give your 25 to 30 billion increase of budget, you know, I asked this last Thursday. You were present in the budget hearing last Thursday of the Commission on Higher Education. I was wondering why the Commission on Higher Education was silent on this particular case. Nagulat ma si Ma'am Patty Licuanan when I brought this up. When what had happened was a death of one of your own. He's a constituent of the Commission on Higher Education. He's a college student. And so many deaths have happened in the past already. We'd like to see more proactive approach of the Commission on Higher Education in disciplining universities and colleges who condone these organizations, registered organizations, that do this illegal activity. I believe you have a statement today. Is that correct?
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Senator Subiri. Actually, we will be preparing our position paper or comment on the matter. But early on, when we heard the incident, we already issued a statement, Your Honor, condemning in the strongest possible terms what happened and asking the authorities, school authorities, to shed light and cooperate with the police authorities so that the perpetrators will be brought to the bar of justice. We also directed our regional offices, Your Honor, because we have a regulation on this, to conduct not only in the NCR area, but in the different regions to do their usual monitoring, especially at these times. Because we have been faced with this situation before, but as you know, CHED doesn't have the requisite police power, and we are not capable to conduct criminal investigation of this nature. So when the authorities, police authorities, already took jurisdiction, then what we've done is to also call upon the school authorities, as we have done in the past. No? But again, having said that, Your Honors, we are one. The CHED, the Commission on Higher Education, is one with the authors of the different bills in strengthening the law, and we would like to associate ourselves with the authors when they call for the, you yourself, the banning and the prohibition outright of the practice of hazing and violent initiation rights. Because there is really a gaping loophole in the law, and this is something that at this point should be addressed. We believe the law can be strengthened by first banning these violent hazings and physical violent initiation rights, and then of course maybe updating the penalties, and of course removing already the tacit recognition of hazing as indicated in Section 2 of the present law. And towards a more proactive action, Your Honors, we also would like incorporated in the law a process of registration or recognition so that fraternities in the country will not remain to be underground. Because there are many fraternities that are like that, primarily because they don't want really to be transparent, and in the process, it is hard to police them. I myself is a member of a fraternity in the University of the Philippines, and this is the problem that we have faced. Although in the UP, we have an interfraternity council, an IFC system that gathers different fraternities, almost 22 of them. And this is something that perhaps the law could look into. Because this is now the 21st century, and I was part of the process also of building the Interfrat Council. And Senator Joey Lina here, when he was still a congressman, I believe, we've been working with the UP before. And incidentally, my fraternity is in the College of Engineering, by the way, although I finished law in UP. And of course, Your Honor, our Manual of Regulations for Private Higher Education Institutions, or the MORFE of 2008, carries also steep penalties. In this case, when there is hazing, either the guilty parties can be excluded in the institutions, or they are dropped in the rolls, or expelled, so that they can never be admitted in any higher education institution.
Thank you, Attorney. And yeah, just the last question, so that's Senator. Have there been any penalties so far? I mean, Mando killing, CSB of killing, several other victims of hazing. Have there been, since 1995, penalties given to meted out of schools, violation of hazing and your circulars? Ever? Because this is important to note.
On the part of the institution, it would be very hard to penalize them, because invariably they are not notified, Your Honors, because the requirement of the law is that they should be part of the process. If they are not notified, they don't know anything about it, then they can escape liability. Because, you know, as we know, hazing and these initiation rights, they do not, you know, notify these schools. That is a fact, and the schools are the first one to be surprised if something like this happens. So I think the law, the mandatory laws should address this, Your Honor.
Would it be safe to say that an incident like this happens under their watch at the least that the university can expel
Exactly,
the
Your Honor.
organization, not just the members?
They can suspend the organization. It's happened in the past. A lot of them have gone underground. They can expel or exclude, you know, at the administrative level, the parties, those who have been, you know, charged, Your Honor. So there is an administrative level under the MORFE, and there is, of course, the criminal and civil liabilities that could attach.
Thank you, Chairman. And just to reiterate to Mr. Solano, again, no, truth shall set you free. I will await your testimony in executive session. Thank you.
Just a follow-up, and since part of our topic today is really discuss the results to amend the law, the members of CA, narinig ko kanina na since 2015 type of act, no? Meron ba kayong suggestion as to how to prevent this type of in the future? To amend how to strengthen the easing, probably investigate.
Welcome the amendment. Sir, I have here, right, so how to read paragraph. Kinokondena ng CHR anumang uri ng pagkamatay na dulot. Bagamat kinikilala natin ang karapatan ng isang individual na maging kabahagi ng isang asosasyon, dapat maging dahilan ng pang-aabuso, lalong-lalo na ang kamatayan. Bilang NHRI, may pagtugon ang serbisyo ng CHR sa mga biktimang kabahagi ng mga taong mas madalas maging biktima ng pang-aabuso, gaya ng kababaihan, kabataan, estudyante, mga may kapansanan, katutubo at iba pa. Gayon din, napaalalahanan ng CHR ang mga akademikong institusyon na gumagawa ng mga mekanismo upang maiwasan ang ganitong kaso at upang mapanagot ang mga may sala alin sa anti-hate.
Yes, the Commission on Human Rights has already commenced an investigation into that we should. This was issued by the Commission on Human Rights as and that is
I really commend the star for not with that. But to move forward, no, going back to again, no, how to prevent hazing happening in have specific
our services we have aside from that we are also
can you find the us right now, Ched, and probably master recommendations. This is a formal agenda. No? We actually investigate as well as talking about the proposal and the really appreciate
not just from the tentative government, but from the other resources. Senator
I may not be able to attend your Sir Chairman because of some family too. My main concern is that I've been hearing the word repeal. Repeal means revoke, annul. And revoking or annulling penal law is fraught with a lot of dangers.
I think
no?
those who actually
Well, I'm very happy that that is the direction because there are two already serving sentence under the anti-hazing law. There are 300 suspects at large, according to the Philippine National Police. If the law is revoked or annulled, what will be faced scot-free? And there are pending cases now in court which will be affected by a move to scrap the law altogether. So I'm just, that's my concern. Lastly, nothing is permanent and no law is written in stone. I totally agree with that, that as time goes by, there will be situations that will arise that have not been covered by the law. I mean, it's but natural, but we can be guided by the recent Supreme Court
Anyway,
decision.
Sir Joey,
Tungo.
when perhaps the substitute, then we'll make sure that
Thank you very much. Amendment will be, I think, will be appropriate.
well taken. So with that, end this hearing and further note and accept John Paul Solano, of course, the lawyer, deceased. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat sa mga contribution.